You're a bad guy.
I know, I suck. I was
I
like,
think you're a bad person.
I'm like pushing out my glasses going, a saber-toothed cat and a cave bear existing in the same locality? Oh, they would compete for
You
prey.
weren't even there. You don't even know. It could have been like that.
No.
You don't even fucking know.
No.
You don't fucking know that.
Dude.
You weren't there.
I was there.
No, you were not.
I'm 6 dick billion years old.
You are not 6 dick billion years old.
Oh, I forgot to fucking send it. It's a terrible photo, but it's fine because there's always glare on these goddamn frames.
There's like one inexplicable blurry ass photograph of that time period, and you can see Wren like in the distance looking backwards.
No, you can see Red, and it's that fucking dog with the pinwheel hat. Hello, one and all, and welcome to the Bog Frog Book Pod. As always, I am joined by a man who has decided that he is going to go run into the woods, and if he's not back in 4 hours, he broke his leg. James.
Hey, what's up? I figured out something important. No, I won't tell you. I gotta talk to these guys first. But I'll be back. Don't worry about it.
And a young woman who is just so sad. Seth.
You know, it's cool and all that, you know, I found the love of my life so early. It's a shame that if I marry him, he's going to kill himself.
I should just marry this deeply abusive man instead. I think that'll go better for me.
It's like the most depressing shit in the entire world.
Oh yeah, it made me feel kind of sick. A lot of this book has been making me...
I want to tell you, it doesn't, you don't start feeling better as the book goes on. Let me tell you.
And as always, I am the bugger queen. Wren.
Not... You're the hive queen. They don't call her they call her the hive queen.
Well, yeah, but I'm racist. Alright. You're telling me she's ramen?
Yes, I'm telling you she's ramen.
She looks like Bug, though. I can't accept that.
Yeah, but she's chill.
I can't accept that. I'm part of this new humanity who reads this book but doesn't actually accept its moral philosophy.
There's some shit in here.
Which question, though?
What the fuck?
Well, what's how do you say? Do you know how to say the other one, the step below ramen? What was that?
Barels. That's how I've always said it.
Okay, yeah.
That was weird.
I just had no idea. I was like, this is interesting. Interesting work.
Yeah.
I bought a couch.
Was that on the docket?
I probably should have put it on the docket.
I'll be talking about that, but first we need to talk about a new challenger approaches.
You know, it's getting to be that time of year again. In 2 days from this recording. Will be the release of the criteria for Hooptober, everybody's favorite podcast topic.
Oh,
so thrilled!
But
so excited.
Before that, you can thank good friend of the pod, Eve, aka Ennui, for bringing to my attention
new enemy of the state.
For bringing to my attention Cramptober, which is a response to Hooptober, but instead of being about
fucking film people,
dusty old man Toby Hooper. It's about horror goddess Barbara Crampton. That is the exact words. The horror goddess Barbara Crampton is written in the thing.
That's pretty good.
And you know,
what did she do? Why?
She's an actor. Okay. I know her how I was first exposed to her was she is in the Stuart Gordon Lovecraft, not all of them, but a decent amount of the Stuart Gordon Lovecraft adaptations, being Re-Animator, From Beyond, Castle Freak. She's in those three.
God, that's a good name. What a name.
Castle Freak's so good. Crazy movie. And so it's a response. It has I would say more interesting criteria, like more specific criteria too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quickly, list those off and then list my list. I don't remember what I picked for each of these, so I'm not going to try to line them up in any way. Same basic rules apply. 31 movies. You have to review and rate each one. Lucky for me, because who knows if I will actually finish this and Hooptober. But this one goes from September 14th, which I believe is a day before Hooptober starts, and goes until November 15th. So you get 2 months. Plus, give or take a day or so.
A little kinder.
Yeah, a bit kinder. And only other rule is that you are not allowed to choose any Tobe Hooper film.
Interesting.
I don't think they have any actual beef with Tobe Hooper. I don't know if Letterboxd user STR has real beef with Tobe Hooper. If so, it would be interesting to know. Here are the categories. Surprise motherfucker, watch one horror movie where someone should have checked the back seat. Fallacious, oh no, watch one horror movie where oral sex ends in mutilation/death. 3 Masters of Horror, which is watch 3 horror movies directed by somebody who directed a Masters of Horror episode, which if you don't know what that is, it was a TV thing where a bunch of horror directors got to do 50-ish minute little horror shorts.
Okay.
It was produced by Mick Garris. He also did some stuff. Actually, that's part of the thing. Who directed a Master of Horror episode. They don't need to be the same director, but at least one of them has to be from Mick Garris. Also, their Masters of Horror episodes are not eligible as they are episodes of television and not feature-length films.
Understandable, okay.
4, The Night He Came Home, 2 horror movies that take place on Halloween. Penny Dreadful, 5, Penny Dreadful, watch one horror movie that last year's champion and well-known generous rater, Pennington, gave a paltry 2.5 stars or lower. 6, Hidden Gems, watch 3 of the highest-rated but most underseen horror movies according to Letterboxd. 7 one and done directors, watch 2 horror movies directed by people who never directed another feature film. 8 Gorely and Disgust, watch one horror movie covered by the With Gorely and Rust podcast. 9 Queer Itself, watch one horror movie directed by an LGBTQ filmmaker. That category, by the way, James, is how I learned that MJ Bassett is queer.
Oh,
you didn't know that?
I did not. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about her.
She is the gal who did my beloved Solomon Kane movie.
And the recently released Red Sonja.
Oh,
is that out?
I believe it is out. I think it might currently be limited theatrical. It's not playing anywhere near me, or it might be up for digital.
It's not playing.
No, I've heard it's fun from people
I'm gonna see it.
From people I trust with things like that. I wish. I want to see it in theaters.
Fandango, please save me. Fandango. No, not available at home or in theaters.
Damn. 10, The Other White Meat, watch one horror film featuring cannibalism. 11, Baby on Horde, watch one pregnancy horror movie. 12, Pardon My French, watch one new French extremity horror film. 13, Garbage Day, watch 2 horror movies on Bleeding Skull's list of the best trash horror films of the 1980s. 14, Fright and Astound, watch one horror movie from the Sight and Sound poll of the greatest films of all time. 15, Natural Born Chillers, watch one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite horror movies. 16, One of Us, watch the most popular horror film among the freaks you follow on Letterboxd that you haven't seen. Fun fact about this, I'll tell you which one this is right now. I looked at the thing that lets you know what this is, because luckily very kind of them. They have lists for each thing of shit that's on
great
here. But that one, I looked at that list. There were a total of 5 I had not seen.
Oh wow!
So I had to go like pretty deep down that. It ended up being The Menu.
Hey, it's a Wren pick.
It is a Wren pick.
Let's go!
Rowletti, watch one random film you haven't seen from ETI's greatest horror films of the 1980s poll. The link is just set to shuffle. Watch 5 films released in years that end in 5, excluding 2025.
Silly.
Watch the franchise rule. Watch the next unwatched film in a horror franchise you've started but haven't finished. If you have completed every franchise you started, start a new one. And 20, one film starring Barbara Crampton. There must always be a Babs film. And my list is not. This isn't necessarily in order that I'm going to watch them, because I haven't put that in. I haven't thought about it too much yet. In my thing, I tried very deliberately to err on the side of shit that is short. So there's a lot of pretty short, some sub-hour, some a lot of 70-minute type deals. I think I have one film that's over 2 hours long. Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem, Mick Garris's Quicksilver Highway, Dead of Night, Vampires Los Muertos, the sequel to the John Carpenter film Vampires.
Okay.
Rock Paper Dead, Fear.com, Murder Party, The Video Dead, Without Warning, Federico Fellini's Toby Damnit, Little Otik, Pendas Fen.
Yeah.
Angst, Phase 4, The Hand, The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here, Messiah of Evil, The Suckling, High Tension, Tales from the Quadead Zone, Hallucinations, Vampire, Spider Baby, Mad God, The Menu, Night of the Creeps, Return of the Living Dead Part 2, Chopping Mall, Blackout, Puppet Master, and Rob Zombie's 31.
Have you never seen Mad God?
I have not. Not all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, but every time I've started it, I have gotten tired. Not because of the movie. It's just always been late.
Honestly, it's visually stunning.
Which one of those?
It's not the most engaging film.
Which one of those are you most excited to watch?
Pendas fan.
I am super excited for that because I've been on a folk horror kick, so I'm super excited for that. I'm really excited to check out. Probably is Pendas fan. Pendas fan.
Pendas fan.
That Little Otik, because that seems crazy. Or Tales from the Quadead Zone, which I've heard, which is 62 minutes and is a weird anthology film that I know people are big fans of. Also, Night of the Creeps. I have been wanting to watch Night of the Creeps for probably over 10 years at this point, and I just haven't done it. Love Tom Adkins. I grew up watching Fred Decker's other big film, his most popular film, The Monster Squad. I don't know why I haven't watched Night of the Creeps yet. But yeah, that's it. Look forward to that, maybe.
Nice.
It will kill me before it kills any of you.
We will all be dead. It'll be a shambling corpse of a podcast.
I'm getting executed by my semester, so I'll be taken care of.
Yeah. Speaking of getting executed, you bought a couch.
I did buy a couch.
Basically, Wreb bought a couch, I believe.
I don't know why
fucker named Wreb.
So this is not a story about me. This is about Wreb, my coworker persona, that I create whenever I go into the office and I say, "Hey guys, it's Wreb," and then they're like, "Please, we fired you months ago. Get out." And then I start crying. But this is a story from that fantasy. I recently had a buddy over, and we watched Mad God. But there is an issue with my apartment. For many a moon, let's say, how many full moons are there per year? Enough moons for 2 years. I for a long time, I sat on one of those
it's
fucking...
actually it's all the same moon, just so we're clear. The moon doesn't change. It's always the same moon.
Fuck you, James.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
I'm also not convinced.
Fair.
I'm really not convinced. I'm just gonna put that out there for the audience. But I, for a long time, sat on one of those fucking egg chairs that I bought from Target on sale for like $20. And it was me in front of my TV with my PlayStation 5 and a copy of Bloodborne, and that's how I spent my time. And I recorded this podcast in that chair for many months until I was like, until I was like starting to have people over. I'm like, this isn't really the best look. So I bought a couch, or so I thought. What I spent $150 on was in fact a love seat, and at that point,
That's pretty good for a love seat. That's a good price.
What? Off of Craigslist? I thought I was gonna get murdered, and it worked out fine. Worked out great even. And that love seat has treated me well for very long. But 2 weeks ago, I had a buddy over, and we watched Mad God, because he hadn't seen Mad God.
Canoodling?
No, no, but I have a couch that I keep in my closet that folds out because the love seat is very small, and we're both like 6 foot, 230-pound men. So it just really wasn't gonna happen.
Could have, again, if you were willing to canoodle, but carry on.
Yeah, that's true. And he was like, maybe you should like buy an actual couch. I'm like, that is a good point. And then I kept putting it off until my place of work is downsizing right now, because the economy. Are your works downsizing as well in this moment?
Not currently.
Not any more than they were 3 years ago. What I'll say.
That's fair enough.
This is also just a time for my work where we just don't have a ton of shit going on.
Yeah, same with mine. I have a lot of days of doing nothing. But we sold a building, and in that building is a lot of furniture, and that furniture needs to get sold. So I was able to get a 3-seater couch for $40.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's really good. And now all I need to do is rent a shit-ass U-Haul, and then with that U-Haul, bring it back to my apartment.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you my U-Haul story?
Go for it, please.
Recently, I needed a U-Haul to move my non-operational motorcycle, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to move it to a place where I could work on it easier. Be a whole thing. So I scheduled a pickup for a U-Haul.
Yes.
I go at the time. I walk in. Actually, no, I walk through the lot looking around, and I think to myself, the U-Haul I want, one of the small vans, is not here. This may present a problem. But it's fine. I have an appointment or a reservation. So I walk up to the counter, say to the lady, hey, I have a reservation for this van. I want it. And she says, oh, we don't actually have those right now. They're all being rented out. And I said, so what was the point of the reservation? Why did I do that? And I'll be honest, she didn't really give me an answer. She did it. There was seemingly no reason to make a reservation because they just give them out anyway.
That's the fucking
and she was like, I'll call you when the next guy comes in with the van so you can use it. And then I never got a phone call.
I love you all, man. They don't respect anything.
No. So that's my U-Haul story. I don't have any solution or advice. Just like frustration.
I had that happen when I went to move my apartment. my whole ass apartment.
Your home.
My home.
Where you live.
And I was like, I wanted a lot more time to move shit. And they're like,
yeah,
can you be done in 2 hours? And I was like, no. And then they said, well, we can't give you a U-Haul then. So I lied and said I can do it in 2 hours. Which then resulted in us hurriedly moving like 3/4 of my stuff and then making a ton of car trips because I was like, oh, they're going to charge me a lot of money. I forgot. I do need to return it on time.
You do need to, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like U-Haul, but that I will be renting that fucking 9-foot truck for my fuck-ass couch, which will be used for watching movies with people in a better manner than has been before. That was a good story. That was a certified Wren story.
You know, I would say it's a little mundane. Maybe a little like a mundane observation on why I might enjoy something. You got any opinions on that?
What is this? What is this fucking topic of yours?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I had to think of something, and this is like the thing I've been doing.
You
so
suck.
I've been listening to the Way of Kings audiobook. I don't really need to talk about the Way of Kings. I've talked about that fucking book before on here. Nobody gives a shit. It's good. Go read it or listen. Whatever. Who cares?
You're my friend. I care.
But no, you fuck off. I pester you enough. You know my thoughts.
I do.
Our DMs have been terrible. It's just me like thinking about things. And we're like, do you think this works? And I was like, I think it would work like this. And then we talk about it for 5 minutes. It's a bad place. What were we saying, Seth?
I'm trying to remember, because I genuinely don't remember. Had you already read Way of Kings by the time we started this podcast?
Yes.
Like, we might not have talked about it.
Well, I talked about the Cosmere read through on the podcast.
Yeah, but I don't think you like ever. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, don't do it now.
No, wait. James, check that spreadsheet.
Pull that bandage off right now.
Yeah, I guess we have the receipts. You know,
it's the only time those spreadsheets have come in handy.
Yeah. Well, go through the dockets. Scroll.
No, your spreadsheet, the one you've been making.
No.
Yeah, but we also like, you know, well, yeah, what was the first one?
My Cosmere spreadsheet doesn't have end dates when I finished.
Oh my god, why?
I don't think I wrote down.
I finished like 8 in a day, you know?
Yeah, I would pound them out like so fast.
That was a psychopathic era of media consumption.
I had a lot of time, is the thing.
Boy, do I know it.
Around here. I'm clicking through the dockets. This doesn't matter. I'm losing interest in trying to care. I guess I'll talk about Way Kings real quick. It's good. I enjoy it.
It's good podcasting.
I enjoy all of the little guys in it quite a bit. It's A+, thumbs up. He did a good one there. There's stuff I didn't notice before that I'm really appreciating. A+. But the thing I'm here to talk about is only slightly more interesting. It's the audiobook. I've been listening to the audiobook, which I've talked, I think, a few times on here before, and I've definitely talked to both of you, because you guys like audiobooks. I just can't get into audiobooks at all. I've tried so much. I tried with Garden Moon. I tried with another one that I tried. I can't remember what it is, but I
would not have done Gardens of the Moon personally.
It was actually relatively enjoyable.
But that's how I read it.
My issue is I get stressed listening to audiobooks because what if I miss something, you know?
What a creature.
Like, what if I miss a word and then I don't know what a sentence means and then I don't know what the rest of the book means, you know? Or, like, what if I misunderstand something? So I just get really stressed listening to them, generally. Not, like, freaking out, just, like, passively stressed. And I also can't do anything else while listening to one. Like, I have to focus. I can't just listen to it. Anyways, I'm not having that issue with The Way of Kings because I know this book very well. And I know what happens very well. And that has solved the problem. It is heavily compressed. I don't know if like the version on Audible sounds like this, but the version I'm listening to sounds like this, and it's like the most compressed audio I've ever heard in my life, and it makes me feel like I'm like playing like a 90s, like I'm playing fucking Daggerfall or something, right? Like it feels like that. It's really comfy in a way. And I really like the narrator. Me and Wren were talking about this. He yells really funny. He goes, "No,
no!" I believe it's the same narrator as. I think both of these people also do like the entire Wheel of Time series.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's because it's a guy and his wife doing it together.
Yeah, like, I believe this is true. Let me.
He did my favorite audiobook, the Desert Solitaire audiobook.
No.
Edward Abbey says as he throws a rock at a rabbit's head.
Yeah, they did all of the song. They also do like most of the Cosmere shit.
Yeah, they do a lot of it.
They only haven't done a few.
A new Cosmere came out, Isle of the Emberdark, and Wren was complaining about the audiobook, and I was confused because I assumed it would be that guy. But no, it was some lady.
That's a lady and a guy. They grew on me a lot over the...
that's good.
A potentially interesting thing, Wren.
What's that?
They also do the audiobook for seemingly the Dandelion Dynasty. At least the Grace of Kings.
They in fact did it for all of the books.
Fuck yeah.
Just Michael Kramer though. I'm still
okay.
I'm working through that fucking 4th book, man. It's it takes it out of me.
In good or a bad way?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know.
That good, huh?
No, they're fantastic, but like after a certain point, it just the way he writes it. There's so much emotional weight placed on these characters, and they just pass so easily. So you'll be like in love with this character who's been around for 2 novels, and it's like, and then he fucking exploded, and you're like, oh god. And he's had to deal with that. It sucks. I
would simply just deal with it.
I mean,
I wouldn't be bothered.
I read half of book 3 and got so devastated I took a break for half a year. And I read half of book. Wow. No, it's great. I read half of book 4 and I was so devastated I took a break for up until now, and I'll get back to it eventually.
So you like how he yells?
Oh yeah, he yells funny.
No.
Yeah, like there's a bit where like the main character Calvin is like sad. He's like yell screaming, and it's just no, like the breathiest like old man yell. It's very good. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I had to find something, and this was it. Sometimes they're not winners.
Jesus Christ.
You know what is a winner?
Not you.
To Umineko.
So, I took a break. I don't remember. Did I talk about this on the podcast?
I don't know,
remember
man.
the last time I talked about Umineko?
Probably a year or so ago.
I don't think it was that long. But it was a couple months ago. I don't think so.
I've heard you in person explain what you're doing, so I'm like having to remember if that was real.
Let me check when. I'm gonna check when the last time I booted Umineko was, because that was probably just the last time I read it. After episode 6, there are 8 episodes total. Just to refresh everyone. Okay. There is a scene where basically I got called the fuck out by a character in the text, basically telling me, "Hey, you're a shitty mystery reader, and that's not okay. Do better." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, fine, yeah." Yeah, the last time I played was February 27th. So it is actually possible I played almost a year. If I didn't talk about this or my break, it is possible that it has been not a year, but almost a year. So I was like, oh, fuck, okay, yeah, sure. I'll take a bit of a break. There's like a massive, insane, like, mind-shattering twist at the end as the final line of episode 6, like truly like fundamentally changes how you have to view what has been going on.
It was incest the whole time.
Nah, that'd be normal. That doesn't change fucking anything.
That sucks.
That's called confirming.
Oh man.
So I was like, okay, I don't know how I read it and I was like, that's crazy. I don't know how this is possible. But I've been assured that it is. So I was like, okay, fuck. I gotta become a decent mystery reader. So I devised a list of things I had to read / experience, because 3 of these are games. before I could continue Umineko, and I am almost done. And right now, I am going to go over the pieces of Western detective / mystery canon that I have consumed.
Okay.
Since stopping Umineko in February. First, I read the 3 what's it called? Edgar Allan Poe, C. Auguste Dupin short stories, which is what most people consider basically the start of the detective genre. It starts with The Murders in the Rue Morgue. I cannot remember what the second one is called off the top of my head right now, which is embarrassing. And then after that was after the second one, the last one is The Purloined Letter. And let me tell you, that first one, Murders in the Rue Morgue, do either of you know anything about the Murders in the Rue Morgue?
No.
I don't.
I think this is going on the docket for me of like short stories for us to cover, because I really, really enjoy specifically this one. And Murders in the Rue Morgue, it introduces C. Auguste Dupin, which is the detective character that the second story is The Mystery of Marie Roget. Marie Roget. Murders in the Rue Morgue, some crazy shit's going on, and this detective fucker, this like deeply French detective guy, needs to figure it out.
That's exciting.
It starts with more or less just a essay about how deduction works.
Okay.
About the game of deduction in literally as a game. It explains it as a game, and it's too long for me to read.
To
read to you guys, but let me just tell you, this is it.
What do you mean? This is it, man.
This is how mystery novels seem to have worked for a very long time. Like, just fucking did it. It was like, yeah, this is the game that mystery writers are playing. It's kind of insane to read, especially since I'm covering these slightly out of order because I started some Sherlock Holmes shit before this, and getting like a couple things of Sherlock Holmes into like that whole canon, and then going back and doing this, I was like, this is insane. This is absurd. This is literally just how these work. Murders in the Rue Morgue is really fun. Like one of my favorite Edgar Allan Poe stories, honestly. The ending is so fucking good that if you don't know what it is, I do not want to spoil it, because it is so ridiculous and funny and like perfect as like the start of the detective genre. It sets a wonderful tone for shit going forward. And then I do not remember much of The Mystery of Marie Roget. It's fine. I remember kind of liking it. Don't remember too much about it. The Purloined Letter is basically just Edgar Allan Poe being like, man, I really like statistics.
What a fucking nerd.
Really fucking likes statistics. He goes so hard on it. It's like 40 minutes worth of reading of just like, of statistics. It's awful. It is not something I would recommend you
that sucks,
experience. Man. And then I have listened to, but read, listen to the audiobook for every Sir Arthur Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes story.
As the Hound of the Baskerville.
That's a good fucking book.
There you go.
I'll just quickly go over my thoughts on all of them. Scarlet Letter, which I think I talked about a bit. I know I talked about it before a podcast at one point. I do not remember if I talked about it during a podcast. Scarlet Letter, the first book, good. Really fun time. Lots of weird shit about Sherlock in that one that gets kind of ironed out as time goes on. Sign of the Four, this is like the real shit. which is going to be kind of funny once I explain the next one. The second of 4 novels, pretty good, very fun, a more like concrete version of Sherlock. Also, the one where we find out that he has a hell of a right hook, which made me like get on my knees and apologize to Guy Ritchie. Next is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is the first short story collection. If you come up to me, dear listener, or dear co-host on this podcast, and ask, I don't want to read every Sherlock Holmes thing. What's like the one Sherlock Holmes thing you recommend that I read? I would recommend you read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It is so much fucking fun. I think Sherlock is best when it is short stories rather than the novels. Not that I think all of the novels are good, but this is where it's at. A
smaller dose hits better.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of inventive stories, and in general, my favorite stuff in my favorite single collection out of all of this.
Okay, nice.
After that is the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, which is the end of the initial run. For those who don't know, there was, I think, there was like a 7-year gap between Memoirs and Hounds of the Baskerville, and I think a 12-ish year gap before he like actually started to write new Sherlock Holmes things after that. Memoirs is great. This is the introduction of my favorite Sherlock Holmes character, Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock Holmes' older brother, who is smarter and better than him in every single way, except he is lazy as shit.
Very good.
I fucking love him to death. He's so good. And this is also where the final problem, which is Michael Moriarty. This is where that happens.
That's the guy.
That is the guy. And then that is not even half of the Sherlock Holmes stories that exist. There is more Sherlock after this initial ending than there is before. After that is Hounds of the Baskerville. Hounds of the Baskerville is the third of 4 novels. It is my favorite of the novels. It introduces some like light supernatural shit going on, and then kind of removes that, which is like lame, but whatever. Very fun. I think it's one of the most adapted ones, like in terms of like movies. It gets adapted. It's the one I knew about before, like as a child. Great, lovely.
Yes.
Then there's The Return of Sherlock Holmes, which features my favorite short story. Let me try to remember exactly, because it's like a long name. The Adventure of Charles Augustus Milverton, which is fucking hilarious. It is so funny. The way that it is Sherlock has to interact with this guy who is extorting this woman who is about to get married. And then he like breaks into his house to find evidence. And do you care if I just tell you what happens?
Yeah,
go for it.
A different woman who this person is blackmailing comes in and shoots the guy. And then Sherlock and Watson are just like, shit, yeah, that's crazy. I guess he shouldn't have been doing that.
Hell yeah.
It's so good. It's so I love it. After that is The Valley of Fear, the final of the novels, which you can really tell at this point that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle does not want to be writing Sherlock anymore. Half of this book is basically not unrelated, because it is like the build up to the first half of the book, which is like the mystery. But the second half of this book is all like a crime. It's just a crime story about like a guy getting like roped in to a really dirty sect of the Freemasons.
Oh.
Alright.
Crazy. And then there is the ironically named His Last Bow. It's not the best. There's some good stories in here. I think the title of the titular story, His Last Bow, is pretty good. Really, you can feel that he's running out of steam at this point. I believe His Last Bow is after his son passed away.
Oh, fuck.
Bad time in his life. The case, and then
not doing hot.
The actual final thing is the case book of Sherlock Holmes, which is probably like I think His Last Bow is probably my least favorite collection, my least favorite like book in the Sherlock canon. But the case book is like not super high above it. The case book plays more like a remix album than it does like an original thing. You get a lot of like similar things being like redone in like slightly different ways. There is some like fun like formal things that happen. I think there, if I remember correctly, there's a case that doesn't get solved in this one, which is interesting. It just kind of like fizzles out, or like he doesn't exactly. It's like kind of strange how it works. There's a case that is one that is actually from the point of view of Sherlock Holmes, which doesn't happen. All of the other ones are from the point of view of Watson writing down the adventure after the fact.
Okay.
Based. Kind of a downer thing to end on, but I think Sherlock in general is super fun. Like, I had a ton of fun going through these. Lots of stuff I didn't expect how few like murder mysteries there would be in this. There's a lot of like extortion or like stolen objects and stuff. Like, it's very fun. A lot of like weird shit going on. Sometimes it's like, hey, there's this like club that says it's gonna give a bunch of money to you if you are a redhead. Like, is this legit? And then the answer to that is so weird and fun. I think Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is great, and I had a ton of fun.
Hell yeah!
All of those. And then the last thing in the like Western canon that I went through is I read the first Hercule Poirot story by Agatha Christie. The Mysterious Affair at Star. I think Agatha Christie is probably like, you know, there's a reason she's one of the highest selling authors of all time.
Probably why.
In terms of, this is the second Christie. I believe this is the first book she ever wrote. Actually, this is my second of her books I read, and then there were none before, which I loved. I think she's just like the best at this. I had the most fun out of this. Like, I had more fun with this than I did a lot of Sherlock Holmes. It's a pretty short book. Poirot is a very fun character. It is funny knowing that I know for a fact Agatha Christie fucking hated Poirot by the end of her life.
Okay.
Like, just got like so annoyed that she had to write this guy. Because he is like a very schmarmy, like, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And spends a lot of time being like, why can't you tell this weird thing? Like, why don't you know this, you fucking idiot, you dumbass?
Are you stupid?
Fool!
And it's very fun. I think Agatha Christie seems more interested in telling stories about, like, psychology of characters, which I find more interesting than a lot of stuff that, like, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle or Edgar Allan Poe did with, like, their detective stuff. Obviously, Poe did a lot of, like, psychological shit in other books, but in those three stories specifically, didn't do a ton of it. And I find that very interesting. All of these, like, all the C. Auguste Dupin stories of Sherlock Holmes and then this Hercule Poirot basically do tell you how they are going about with deduction, like their own theory of deduction, which is really interesting, especially as somebody who doesn't try to solve these things. Getting that kind of explained to you is like, here is the thought process. And there are some like very I learned important lessons from these, like genuinely.
Cool.
As a reader, I felt like I learned very important things from reading these. And did I solve any of them? Fuck no, not even a little bit.
Damn.
But I thought about it a bit more, and that's fun. And maybe next episode I'll talk about some of the Japanese canon that I went through, but that'll take more time.
Do you feel like a better reader having read these? Like,
a little bit.
Umineko has done it to you?
I think it has. It is kind of funny just kind of thinking about it and being like, I just have this weirdly solid basis for the foundations of the mystery genre now.
Yeah.
I just know so much about the start of this, which I just had no idea of before.
Yeah,
which is fun. It's been interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what else is really interesting?
What's that?
Beaten off.
Yeah.
What?
Talking about being off. Right?
Oh, that's me.
You dumb asshole.
I was like, we're talking about beating off. That's awesome.
I had hold on real quick. I had this bit for it still happens sometimes with Kat, where every once in a while I'll be asked the question. And it's oh, what's your but every once in a while something will come up and I'll answer drinking beer and jerking off.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. It's just really fun to say.
Drinking beer and jerking off.
And it answers a lot of questions. It answers a surprising amount of questions that you can be asked.
What are you doing? How you feeling? What's going on?
Well, drinking
everything
beer
all
and
right?
jerking off.
Your favorite activity?
What do you like to do on your days off?
Beating off.
Drink beer and jerk off. Talk about beating off.
I love beating off.
What is off, and how are you beating it?
How am I beating off? When a man and woman love each other very much, they go on the off wiki and look up latest patch download. For many, many years, I have been shown off and gone neat and didn't commit to playing it. But then
what is it?
I didn't get to it. Let me go through the narrative. Those contrarian fucks down at Fangamer decided to release it as a remaster and physically, and I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm letting them do that before I beat the game. I will not be a late adopter. I'm not a loser. I am.
So it's a video game. Okay, cool. I'm glad to know that now, finally.
Off is a video game made by comic artist and game dev Mortis Ghost back in I think the early 2000s. Let me give it a quick look-see doozy. When did this Format Archive come out?
The first one came out in 2010. Second one came out in 2014.
God damn it, that's true.
Dancer came out in 2016. Third, Oathbringer comes out in 2017. Dawn Shard, another short story, comes out in 2020. Rhythm of War comes out in 2020. Comes out in 2024.
Get off the Wikipedia page.
I still had my spreadsheet open.
Fuck you.
Asshole.
Off was released in 2008. It was made, I'm pretty sure, largely in the fucking whatchamacallit, RPG Maker engine.
Yes.
One of them.
Yeah.
Do you guys care about off spoilers in the lore and whatnot?
Good. Hate to care.
Okay. Sky. Seth?
Jesus.
Sky? Friend of the pod Sky? You in the room with us?
Not really. I'll probably forget by the time I get there. I've
Nice.
never played it.
It doesn't seem like the sort of game where spoilers are important. It seems a little more abstract than that.
Yeah, it's... The value of the narrative isn't really in the reveals. It's kind of just going through the motions. There's one big reveal at the end where you're just like, all right, I can't really be compelled to care too much. It's a little RPG that takes maybe 5 hours to beat. It took me a while because it's just kind of dense. What I wanted to do as much stuff as I could, and I still didn't do a ton of the stuff because I didn't realize it was there. It was on me. And you're playing as the batter. You are controlling his like avatar body, and it's a meta thing of like, oh my god, you're like that guy, but you're in that guy. Oh my god! And then you're like, this is just like that Undertale game. And then you like look up one thing, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like off. And you're like, oh my god! Whoa!
Then you have to off yourself.
I have to off myself immediately after playing this much off. It's really pretty. It's got its own little weird world, and it's weird world building, and it's strange art direction. It's, I think, just made by Mortis Ghost, and then the composer Elias Conrad Coldwood, whose music he didn't want to be provided in the physical release because he felt weird about having his music being sold, and I'm like, that's tight as hell. Respect.
Also, you keep calling it a physical release. It's a full remake.
Is it a full remake?
It's on Steam. You can buy it right now.
I thought it was a fucking just a remaster. Was it just built from the ground up?
Remaster, remake, whatever. But it's like it's a full new release and it's paid now and it's on Steam. Like, it's not just a physical release.
Yeah, there's like James is correct. And it's coming out physically next year, and I would like I want the little physical copy. It's such a strange object.
Right now.
I want it. I can pre-order it right now.
No, you can buy the thing on Steam right now.
Yeah, I want the physical little version. I can already play it for free.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying.
It's already around. People really liked it on the internet, and it got fan patches, like a ton of different fan patches and language patches.
Yeah, it's very famous.
Yeah, very famous. I've had to, like, I've been trying. I explained it to coworkers. I was like, "What's this?" I'm like, "It's this," and then James dogged on me.
Yeah, because you were all like, "Yeah, my coworkers." I was like, "How do a bunch of like depressed 20-somethings not know about off even in passing?" Like, I don't know, man. I haven't played it.
Well,
because
like, because it's not just you can be a depressed 20-something. You have to be like a very specific type of depressed 20-something. Like, I don't think most depressed 20-somethings know about Umineko
on Tumblr. Like, that's how I know about it.
Do you know there's like a lot of people who weren't on Tumblr? And also, do you know there's a lot of people, like, you're not going to, if you're the type of depressed 20-something that was on, like, only Doctor Who Tumblr, most people don't play video games.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they play games, but they enjoy...
Like, you go around and ask a bunch of 20-somethings about what Umineko is, and they probably won't even know.
Oh.
You're gonna get maybe like 3 out of, if you sample size of maybe 50, get like maybe like 10.
That's probably fair.
My coworkers love FPSs.
Like, obviously,
and
we heard about it a lot.
Yeah,
it's like that one level of niche where it's just not niche enough where it feels weird that people don't know it.
My coworkers like FPSs and old school RuneScape. Those are the games they play. And
deeply funny.
Yeah. They got their kit, they got their quirks. And I, like, hit video game from 2008 off, recently remastered by Fangamer. It's like a meta-narrative about creativity, and then at the end you kill the world's creator, who's a baby. You beat his head in with a bat, and then the game is like, why would you do that? What the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know, man. It's the game. I don't really care too much.
You shrug. You're like, well, you gave me the verbs, and I used the verbs you gave me. I didn't make a decision. I just did the thing you told me to do.
Yeah, I was just following orders. Yeah,
I was just following orders, man.
You're like, I just played Spec Ops: The Line. I've seen this before. I don't know.
I've just played. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. From a narrative perspective.
I mean, unfortunately we live in a post-off world where that has been done. I mean, Spec Ops: The Line literally is the same thing of like, isn't it fucked up that you do a fucked up thing in a video game? And it's like, yeah, I guess. These are constructive narratives that have been given to me. I can only do what you can let me do. I can't choose to do anything.
I can. Once you start the encounter, you do the encounter. I don't know.
I mean, I think my thought process for all of these is that it's not necessarily being like, you're fucked up for doing this thing. It's always isn't it weird that you probably do something similar to this all the fucking time and you just like don't think about it? Isn't that kind of weird? Isn't it kind of weird that you don't think about the fact that the most popular video games on, one of the most popular series of all time is just American war propaganda.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little weird?
I mean, what's more classically entertaining from an evolutionary perspective than just casual violence? To me, it just kind of makes sense as a natural extension of human behavior to be like, oh, there's a violent thing and people love the violent thing.
And there are only so many verbs you can do, right? Only so many verbs you can do.
Yeah, but why in video games are you so rarely given the option to love?
Oh, God.
It's a lot easier to program a bullet than it is,
I've seen
write a dialogue tree.
I'm playing Undertale, and I'm just like, this is so fucking based.
I've played Moon Super RPG Remix. You can do the damn thing.
You can.
Yeah, I've played Call of Duty, and there's no better feeling than gunning down the enemy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I will say, I do think about how good it feels to make somebody's head explode in Max Payne 3 all the time.
So tight. Dude, cutting people in half in Revengeance is the best feeling in the world.
It's so cool.
That shit's killer. Off poses this question of... honestly, it feels more accusatory of, you are fucked up that you killed that child. I'm like, alright.
Shouldn't have done it, I don't know.
You can turn off the world at the end. It gives you the choice between, I think, kill the batter or turn off the world. I'm like, I kind of want to see what happens when you turn off the world and the game just ends. I'm like, alright. Fair enough.
That's cute. That's fun.
Yeah, there's apparently...
What?
Apparently it's just like this, the world's a simulacra made by a child, and the visuals are very striking. They feel very influential, as I can imagine you would think is very obvious. And to me initially wasn't.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, to me initially wasn't. I was like, wow, these are very striking visuals in the way that they're just like showing this like almost pixel decay and weird use of sprites to make you feel kind of isolated. And I was having a great time with that. I think as an object that exists, as an art piece, I think Off is kind of fantastic and a little unparalleled in a lot of things it's doing. As a game I'm playing with my hands and spending my time on, fuck, man. I'm having a bad time sometimes, dude. That combat system sucks. It's easy and not fun. And that's a terrible combo. Which is...
So what if you're vibing?
I think it can be a vibesy time. I think it's all about expectation, and I went in with an expectation of it being more challenging from the way it was posed to me by people who I think don't play a ton of games, which is fun.
Yeah, fair enough.
I am very interested in playing this remaster because they have completely redone the combat system, and I'm curious as to how that will play. Oh dearest me! Let's see how they have done it.
I'm infinitely after I learned about this game being 7 hours to beat.
Yeah,
a couple of days ago.
Oh.
Infinitely more likely to play it.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's nothing.
I was like, this is probably a 20 to 30 hour experience because it's
honestly,
that's what I thought.
You just now saying it's 7 hours. I was like, wow, that's twice as long as I thought it was.
I was like, this is the longest game of all time. You play
Umineko,
Wren?
I have not. I should.
Have you?
Do you? Okay, so
I know what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure you know what it is. James, do you know about the Umineko online thing?
What?
I've seen
What'd
it.
You say
I
to me?
haven't touched it. I've
There's
barely
this
put hands on Umineko at all. But I have seen the online thing.
You know video games?
No.
It might finally be art.
Fuck.
No, Umineko's great. Umineko Online is this cool fan thing, which basically is not only an easy way to play Umineko just by yourself because you don't have to engage with the online, but it also you can just join a server or host a little thing. You can just explore the world of Umineko with some people, not even all together on the same screen. You can just go around and do it all together.
Yeah, there's a bunch of I'm looking at it right now. There's also a bunch of fan games that you can.
Yeah, a ton of fan games.
That's crazy. Are you doing one shot? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's in there. Do you have any more off thoughts?
Any more thoughts about beating off? Yeah. So fucking many. God, so many thoughts about beating off. But the game off is a different story. None of you are laughing at my joke.
The whole thing, I don't know. The whole thing seems kind of barbaric, if you would. You have any thoughts about that?
Oh fuck! About the nature of violence in video games, dude.
About like the use of weapons and how maybe you become a barbarian of a sort.
Oh, I do have to talk about that too. Is that the last?
Christ.
Yeah, that's the last thing.
Oh fuck! I thought you were next.
No, I did all of my shit.
Fuck. All right. Yeah. I wanted to quickly touch on the film Weapons and Barbarian. Both. What?
I love that movie so much, man. I really, really liked
Still
Weapons.
haven't seen it.
Weapons, dude. You gotta see Weapons. Do you mind if we spoil things or?
And then got busy.
I think we should avoid spoiler. It just came out, you know.
Okay, for Barbarian though, is that fair game or
fair game?
Okay. Yeah, I think Barbarian. If you haven't seen Barbarian, go and do that.
I also like Barbarian.
It's really good.
It's fantastic.
I liked it quite a bit.
I was gonna skip on seeing Weapons because I'd seen the trailer and I'm like, that's pretty cool. But I don't know if I'm gonna commit to seeing it. And then all of our friends in our Discord server were like, this film fucking whips and everyone should go see it. Wren, you should especially see it, was tagged by Sky. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, definitely I can do that.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Wren, I'm sorry to interrupt you real quick. Can you stop fucking moving your cursor in the dock? Because I can hear it through your microphone.
Oh, you can hear it? My bad.
I can hear your keyboard. It's gonna make me fucking
really
kill
funny.
you.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was coming up. My bad. Yeah, I was just fiddling.
I figured. I was like, I'm gonna murder him. Carry on. Talk about Barbarian first, because that comes.
I thought my nose was about to start bleeding again. Dear God damn it!
Because I was so mean to you.
No, it just keeps fucking bleeding. But so I went to go see it, and I was so pleasantly surprised. That film is great, and it has one of the funniest sex scenes ever put to film. That shit's or digital. I don't fucking know. That shit's so fucking tight. That film is so good at weaving its funny bits and making me really, really uncomfortable in flip-flop of scenes. I was like, wow.
Is this Weapon or is
Weapons?
Barbarian?
He was already in the Weapons discussion.
Okay, my apologies. Making sure.
This fucking guy doesn't know anything, bro. What the fuck?
When the actor for the cop who is in that sex scene showed up, I did not know that he was in the movie, and I pumped my fist into the air. Yeah. I fucking love Alden Ehrenreich.
What is he in?
He's in Tetro and Twixt, two of the later Francis Ford Coppola films. He's most well known as he's Han Solo in the film Solo.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean, I don't really like that movie, but he is good in that movie. He's good. He's a good actor. He's in a bunch of shit. He has kind of an insane career. I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
And I think he's great in this. I think he's so good. He's in
fantastic
Oppenheimer.
in this.
Did you see Oppenheimer, Ren?
No.
Okay, James. He's the guy in Oppenheimer who says maybe they were talking about something more important. He's that guy. It's, one of the most impactful scenes in that fucking whole thing.
The more important guy.
It's really good. It's good. He's good. He's a good actor. Need him in more shit all the time.
He plays a really good shitty guy.
He plays just the worst cop of all time.
I was really hoping that the tweaker who came after him was going to be the hero of the story.
He's going to be the lead. I think he's the lead in Krager's new Resident Evil movie that's coming out.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, he's great.
That's going to be worked on soon.
I was like, coming out? Is it already in production?
I mean, you know, I think it is in a form of production, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that film was great without.
It's especially happening now because Weapons made a lot of money.
Yeah,
so many money. Fuck. So many. I was surprised looking at that fucking numbers page. But I guess horror movie with broad appeal is gonna do well.
That's cool.
Yeah. I didn't originally catch that Zach Krager was Zach Krager of The Whitest Kids You Know, which led to I felt very silly being like, is that why you guys were talking about The Whitest Kids You Know? And everyone was like, yes, this is why we were talking about The Whitest Kids You Know.
This is in fact why we were talking about Whitest Kids You Know. And I think knowing that makes the humor in both of those movies make a lot more sense.
Yes, it does.
They're very fucking funny. They're so funny.
It also led to me figuring out that fucking Trevor Moore died, which I had no idea about.
That's great. That's how I learned about Whitest Kids You Know, is people
What?
Trevor. Yeah.
Damn.
My dad was super into The Whitest Kids You Know as it was coming out.
God, fuck yeah. That's awesome.
I knew about it. Showed me the dinosaur ramp.
This one's killer.
It's good.
Let's kill it. Whitest Kids You Know, very, very good. He passed in a very bad period of my life, so I was just really not on the internet at the time.
Oh yeah, you weren't super clued in.
No. But then, a few days ago, I decided to watch Barbarians after a bunch of our friends said I should watch Barbarians, including Seth, who spoke very highly of it. And I went into the film very, very blind. I really just knew that it had an Airbnb and a basement. I'm like, all right, Airbnbs have basements sometimes. That makes sense. What's going to be scary about it? What's going to make this a scary, scary horror film? Let me tell you, I was a little devastated that it turned into a horror film because it felt like it was blossoming into this like nice drama between these two characters. I'm like, this is so nice. The protagonist Tess, and then the other person at the Airbnb, Keith. And then, like, 40 minutes in, they're deep in the basement, which you find out is a very, very deep basement with a lot of hidden doors and underground passageways, which, never good. And we get to the bottom of it, and we see Keith crawling on all floors, and he's like, someone bit me! And the woman Tess is like, what the fuck do you mean someone bit you? And then someone runs up, grabs his head, and smashes it into a wall. And then we hard cut to some guy singing on the PCH in his car. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? This film is very strange. Justin Long.
Just like the worst guy of all time.
Playing, James, to clue you in, you're going through the film. Justin Long is driving down the highway, singing along, gets a phone call, and he's like, and they're just like, well, you're not gonna be a part of this pilot anymore. And he's like, oh, well, why is that? And it's like, well, you've been accused of sexual assault. And then he's like, rape? And then she's like, yes, rape. And then he's just like, that's stupid, this bitch! Which is then the next 20 minutes of the film is just this guy losing all the like connections around his life and him just being like, this fucking stupid, man, this bullshit, fuck you, man. And we learn he's a landlord. Like, fantastic.
Yeah, his Airbnb.
It's his Airbnb. There's also a scene at the bar this takes place in Michigan, where he's from.
That fucking scene is so, that scene, like, he says like the worst shit of all time.
Not verbatim, what he says is fucking, yeah, I mean, like, she didn't want to have sex with me, but I'm, like, persistent, you know? So I just kept, like, asking her. And then eventually,
I think his exact words are, well, she took a little convincing.
Ugh!
Oh, man.
Because his
sucks,
friend,
man.
his, like, one of his, like, friends from high school or whatever is, like,
I think is Zach Krager.
I have no idea. It fucking might be.
So good.
He's, like, the worst. It's awesome.
Yeah, he plays a fantastic
really
terrible
bad
guy.
Things happen to him later.
He discovers the basement, and instead of being afraid, he's like, oh my god, the resale value of this Airbnb just went up.
Yeah, he starts measuring it because that he can include it on his square footage.
Yeah, earlier in the film, they find the fucking evil rape dungeon from hell, and it freaks out the characters, of course. But he's just like, oh fuck, how much square footage is this? Like, I'm just losing my mind. Because he's taken this exact scene and now framed it in a humorous context of this schmuck just going, oh man, the resale value's fucking crazy. Dude, the used fucking house market's crazy these days. It's terrible. I'm having the worst time of my life. Ugh. But we go deeper down and we find out during this whole transition that this house was owned by an evil demon man who would kidnap women and keep them in cages.
That's you shouldn't do that.
No, and then he'd have kids with them, and then have kids with the kids, and then so on and so forth.
Until like that one visual novel guy.
Tamal Sogoe.
Yeah, there you go. I knew you knew what I was talking about.
I was thinking,
I know it. It's in there.
I was thinking he's like that fucking guy from Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh yeah, fuck. What is? I don't remember his name. I do know who you're talking about though, because it makes
it's the worst.
It's
the worst
because he shows up in the third book.
Yeah, he's in the second book.
Is he in the second book?
Yeah,
I think he's at the end of the second book. Like, because it's part of, no.
I never finished the second book. Guy? No, you're thinking of the guy out beyond the wall who has all the fucking like.
I guess I just totally
wife daughters
part in the second book.
Yeah,
the worst.
It sucks.
Some big shit happens with that, or some stuff happens with that in the third book.
I imagine with the one person going away with John, it's.
Is that at the fucking end of this? Is that in the second book?
Yeah,
that's insane.
I've never finished that book. I really should. I know I was spoiled the ending, and then I got kind of just unmotivated.
I think the second book has some pacing problems, but it's pretty good.
Does have that too. Yeah, it's a whole mess. That movie's so much. The second half, much less compelling than the first half. The first half has like some beautiful tension and is very well plotted and paced. In the second half, the bits kind of overtake the tension in a way that feels less compelling. I think when they're in the basement and then escaping the basement, great, fantastic. With the build up to that, a little bit much in terms of
I think
fucking with the pacing.
Yeah, I think Weapons ends up reaching a better middle ground between the two. Weapons, like, because there does come a point in Weapons where like everything is revealed and then it kind of like starts to go a little like more. It starts to get a bit sillier, but it still like ramps up to the ultimate silly moment.
Yeah. God,
one of the funniest fucking things of all time. And then one of the most like just downer endings. The final line is like one of the biggest gut punches.
Yeah, it sucks. It's a fucking nightmare. My God. That's a fantastic film. Fucking dude, do you think those hot dogs were hot or cold?
I think some of them are probably getting cold, you know?
Oh.
I'm just saying like 3.5 hot dogs per person.
It has to be a reference to the hot dog skit, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's no line.
7 hot dogs a day?
7 hot dogs a day. That's all you need.
Well, we're not counting my before work hot dogs, are we?
Right. You know what else we need?
No, man.
We need to speak for the dead.
Oh well.
Why?
Sadly, that'll be like 40 years.
Yeah, it'll be 22 years. You know.
Take me out whenever I can't control my fucking like sphincter in my bladder. Take me out, man.
Let's talk about Speaking for the Dead.
Epic bacon, hell yeah, dude.
Why would you say that? So because
let's science our way out of this.
So
now this is pretty swag, wouldn't you say?
Jesus Christ. So normally we would do a history section of the author, a bit of contextualization. That doesn't really work this time because we've already covered Ender's Game, and Ender's Game comes out the year before this one. So there's not a ton of time in between Ender's Game and Speaker for the Dead. Both been written by the disgraced Orson Carter.
The horrid dung
I
eater.
didn't really do that this time. I do have plans for the next 2 episodes to have a little preamble history section. Not this
All
one.
right.
What I want to do next episode would have taken too much time and energy. By the time I figured out what I wanted to do, I just didn't have time to do it. But it'll be informative for you two, and I think it will help contextualize some things about the way this book works, or at least this book thinks about things.
Does it involve Brazil?
It does not involve Brazil. Yeah, I do find the history of Brazil and the Mormon Church in Brazil.
All right.
That'd work for me.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'd be
I did
interested.
consider doing notable things that happened from 1985 to 1986 through the Mormon Church, but I couldn't really find anything that was that exciting, except for one of their leaders died, 85 or whatever.
It was replaced by Orson Scott Card.
Yeah, he assassinated him. Yeah. So the brief thing, if you don't know about Orson Scott Card, if you haven't listened to the Ender's Game episodes, which you should, they're very good. Author, spent a lot of the 70s writing plays and practicing that. Did a lot of missionary work in Brazil as part of the whole Mormon missionary thing. That was where he went for his. And then I didn't even write down the date. Early 80s, he comes up with a short story called Ender's Game. Published in a magazine, a lot of acclaim. And he comes up with the idea for a sequel called Speaker for the Dead. But as he's writing that book, he realizes that the short story is too thin to work as a launching point. But also, there's just not enough people who would have read that, right? You'd have had to include it in there something.
Sure.
And so he rewrites Ender's Game and expands it out to be a full novel, and we covered that. It's about a young boy named Ender, also known as Andrew Wiggins, but called Ender by people close to him and also his enemies, who is being taught how to fight war in space, and gets really good at it, and he kills an alien race, and he gets upset about it because and he didn't realize that's what he was doing. He thought it was just a game, and yet it was another. It's very good. And this, what we're reading right now, Speaker for the Dead, is the sequel. Again, came out literally a year afterward. Imagine, me and Wren were talking about this last night. Imagine Bad and That Good. Imagine just home run back to back like that. Insane. Literally,
he was struck by
nobody could follow up on, let alone Orson.
It was struck by Joseph's holy fucking lightning, man.
Yeah, he saw through the holy plates. He saw the golden plates and fucking.
He came to fucking Utah on that spaceship.
Yeah, I can't imagine. But yeah, that is the context for this book as it stands. I am reading. You guys, I assume, are reading the ebook copy.
Yes. No, I'm reading the author's definitive edition.
It's also the fucking one I have.
4 books
different
release. It's I don't know if the audiobook starts. It has an introduction that I didn't read because introductions aren't normally great. It has a thing about pronouncing names.
Like introductions.
Yes.
Has some family trees.
Yes. You can really
some
feel
people
Orson's playwright origins, that family tree page. It's
It does very much hit like that.
So yeah, that's how plays do. Yeah, mine has that as well. I have the Some People of Lusitania Colony. Again, that's very playwright.
Yeah.
So I think that
I got used,
version,
by the way. Do not buy this book.
Yes, cannot express how much you should not give Orson your money. Go buy it.
I bought it.
Go buy it used or steal it or,
whatever.
Go to your library and get it. I'm sure they have 20 copies.
Yeah. It's available. I think the version I read as a kid is that version, the native edition, whatever that means.
I doubt it changes anything.
No, because I know Ender's Game does get changed. We talked about that bit in there's that part where where Ender says the N word that I did not remember, and it was because it wasn't in the version I read, and also there's some Cold War stuff that gets changed in the 90s of just changing some of the terminology around the Warsaw Pact and everything.
Interesting.
Who's involved and why they're involved. That stuff gets changed. But yeah, I am reading the Easton Press Collector's version is what it's called. I think it's just the same thing except it's in leather. It's very fancy. It's like reading a Bible. It's quite nice. I just wanted to see.
You do love a Bible.
I do. I have 5 of them. That's not true. I don't know the Bible.
All Gutenbergs.
Yeah, I'm on the King James. Is that the racist one?
Well,
most of them are. Yeah.
Well, there's one of them that people are like, that's the one you read.
Yeah, it's probably King James because that seems correct. I don't know.
Yeah, the Gutenberg is just a big,
Bible
expensive
thing,
Bible.
We're not.
Yeah.
It's rare.
We're just really copying shelf by genre, aren't we?
I know. I was like, wait a second.
Which reminds me, never mind. I'll talk about it.
Talk about it. Let's do a summary. It's a summary I wrote. I think it's interesting how much of this is the first chapter and then everything else. That first chapter is loaded.
Yeah, a lot that goes on.
A lot of shit's going on. It is 3,000 years after the events of Ender's Game, and humanity has finally found another intelligent species.
Let's
A colony
go.
is dispatched to study and observe these creatures, known primarily as the piggies. The colony grows and thrives with only the xenologer Pipo and his son Lebo interacting with the piggies. They're eventually joined by xenobiologist Novinha, daughter of previous xenobiologists who died saving the colony from the brutal and upsetting Descolata virus. She seems cruel at first, but over time, her and Lebo grow as close as anyone can. One day, she shows Pipo a piece of interesting data, and inspiration strikes. He rushes out of the office to meet with the piggies. They find him several hours later, dead, methodically cut open by the piggies. Novinha realizes the thing that got him killed was the data she showed him, blocks it away, making sure no one but her can see it. However, due to the laws of the Starways Congress, when she's married, all of her files will be shared with her spouse, so she vows to never marry anyone, especially Lebo. She also calls for a speaker for the dead. Having been an outsider in her youth, she found comfort in the book Ender wrote and would like someone to come speak Pipo's life. Ender Wiggin, or as he's primarily known to his students, on the Nordic planet of Trondheim, Andrew Wiggin, quickly receives word of the murder. Shortly after that, the request for a speaker. He debates going, but in the end decides he must go, not just for Novinha or Pipo, but for the Hive Queen he still carries, and Jane, an artificial intelligence born of humanity's vast Ansible network. First, however, he must say goodbye to his sister Valentine. After a tearful goodbye, he departs on a 22-year voyage that will only be 8 days for him as he experiences it. In that time, Lebo is killed by the piggies. Novinha's husband, Marchow, keels over in a bar, and both deaths have a speaker called for as well. Ender arrives as our reading ends, meeting several town folks and some of Novinha's kids, and prepares to enter the house. Riviera house. There we go. That's the summary. How
Good summary.
did you all feel about this reading, chapters 1 through 6, Speaker for the Dead?
Do you think that Andrew Wiggins' little like AI thing is the inspiration for the AI child in Sword Art Online?
Oh man,
I don't know anything about Sword Art Online. I did not know that was in that.
Dog, I'd say nah. I mean, no, honestly, maybe. Sure? No, now that I think about it, it was born from the system itself as like this, yeah, I mean, oh man, that
I wrote
sucks.
down when we get like explained what is her name, do you remember?
Jane.
Jane.
Oh, yeah. From Sword Art or
Yui.
It's like Yui in Sword Art. No, when Jane gets like explained, Jane. What did I write down? I wrote something in the margins here. Let me find it.
Oh, yeah, because you're writing in the physical copy.
I'm writing in the physical copy.
Let me drop a pic of this shit for you, James.
Okay, hit me with this Sword Art child.
I'm so sorry.
Do it.
I have Ender AI girlfriend or Ender AI child. Which way card?
I think
this is Yui Sword Art.
It seems
Online.
more child, but actually it seems kind of like I don't know.
I don't think it kind of seems girlfriend.
I don't know. Yes, but that's how it felt during the introduction. It felt less that way as the reading went on for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have thoughts about Jane that are so deeply poisoned by a decade of thinking about this book and a specific chapter that we'll read next time. That I cannot comment on this. Like, I can't extract myself from, like, all of that baggage I have. I actually, originally, when I wanted to cover this book, I wanted to end on that specific chapter. I think it's, like, chapter 11 or so. But I just looked at the amount of reading we would have to do and, like, how it would unbalance things. And I was like, you just can't do that. But it is, like, it's good. But yeah, no, Jane is, to add on it, probably one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. In this book specifically. We'll talk about this in the third episode of this whole series. I think everything after this book is not worth your time. People defend it. I have family members who like it, who might be listening to this. Hello, DJ. Hello, mother. I do not like those books. I think they're very bad, and we'll talk a lot about what I don't like about them in the third episode. And Jane is, like, heavy in those. She's important in this, but she's just another character, and I love her.
I find Xenocide offensive to me.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I don't know. I the only thing I know about Xenocide, like actually know about Xenocide, is that thing you told us about with like the character that's like a germaphobe or has like severe OCD or whatever, and then they get all that shit on their hands. And that was like the one part that you were like, yeah, that's pretty interesting. That was like an interesting depiction of that experience.
There are parts of Xenocide that I find affecting and interesting. It's a death march, unfortunately, and the end of the death march is more death.
Yeah, I've like really debated, and I guess I will probably like fully decide by the end, and maybe I'll make an announcement. Maybe I'll make the official declaration. I've really gone back and forth on if I am going to even try.
I think of the three of us, you would get the most out of it because, again, there is interesting stuff and, like, it's kind of your type of sicko shit of, like, this weird thing that everybody's mad about. But I don't. Me and Wren were actually talking about this last night because I was like, Seth has, like, threatened to make us read Xenocide. I think I
would not. I don't think I'd make you guys read. There's too much other shit that I'm more interested in than committing to that bit ever.
Yeah, 100%.
I said I'd just protest. I would do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I think it would be too unpleasant of a listening experience. Like I think it would be bad podcasting because I would just be getting so mad constantly.
Because like my thing is what you've explained about Children of the Mind specifically. I'm like that seems offensive to me. Like that is like really deeply. I'm like I would be so angry at that book.
So funny.
I don't know anything about Xenocide. Who knows? I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
They do a Xenocide.
There's an XKCD that I think about a lot. It's in a really early one where, like, where like the little cue ball guy falls in love with a woman who keeps like walking outside his window reading a book, and he's like, "What are you reading?" Like one day he's like, "What are you reading?" She's like, "Oh, I'm reading Xenocide. It's my favorite Ender book." And the last panel is him inside. To think I could have loved her.
So fucking
Was that
good.
like the moment for you where you were like, yeah, this is gonna be like an integral part of who I am?
The XKCD or Ender's Game? Yeah.
You were like, finally. Somebody who gets it.
Fully absorbing Randall Monroe's like psychology into my brain.
I really like this book. So far, I really like this.
It's really
this book is. I think he missed it, but earlier I said "fuck you."
I was worried coming back to it because one thing, me and Wren, when we were first like, this is James being very open and honest. Good God, my cat is screaming. Hello.
That was loud. I heard that.
Duster, I'm here. Okay.
What the fuck, Dust?
These 3 episodes will be James is open and honest in ways he's usually not.
Terrifying.
When me and Wren were first becoming friends, I was in the middle of rereading Speaker for the Dead. And something I told you then, and I was like, yeah, I've reread this book every 2 to 3 years since I first read it in high school or in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time I read it, there are new things I'm pulling from it and like noticing and thinking about, and like I can think back to the last time I read it and like who I was then. I think this is probably the longest gap since I haven't read it. You know,
Yeah.
had time or other things. When we started this show, I knew this was something I wanted to cover, so I was holding off because that would have been about the time I started reading it again.
Yeah.
And I was worried though coming into it that like, you know, I'm a different person than I was all those other times. That maybe this time it doesn't hit. You know, no, it hits insanely hard. There's things in here that I'm noticing, I'm thinking about. Certain fascinations are being brought to the fore that I just hadn't thought about. And again, so much of it I can't really talk about yet, but I'm having a great time. I love Noviha. I did not realize that until this read through of like how much she's a character who her mind is it's very stressful to be in, but I can't help but love her and like feel for her. I mean that's the whole point, right? Is like Ender like thinks about her just a little too hard, and it's like I love this person. I have to help.
Oh, okay. So that I have that moment underlined.
Yeah.
Ender Wiggin knew her and loved her, and his eyes filled with tears for her. And I underlined it, and I wrote in the margins, "That's my guy."
He's my goat, dude.
He's
like,
kind of the best.
Moment,
man.
I was like, "Oh yeah," and Ender's here, man. Like he's in here. Like there's no doubt that this is him. Oh.
It's so good.
He's my guy. Yeah. I feel it whenever I'm reading that book. I just feel it's sad.
The part that comes right before that, because I wrote a little bit more of that. It's there was no loving soul in Lusitania who really knew Noviha, but in this case, in Reykjavik, on the icy world of Trondheim, Ender Wiggin knew her and loved her. Bitter. Like
it's so good.
I also love Jane like pulls up like a hologram of Noviha, and he's just like, why does she look like that? Like, what is like instantly like, something is wrong.
Why is she looking so sad?
He fucking ices it immediately.
Yeah.
I love that he has this deep compassion and empathy for humanity and hates them.
Yes, and it's also, I mean, that's the thing Noviha when she's talking to Peepo, right? Peepo's like, you this job, you will be like a slave to the community. Like that's the whole point. And yet you are not part of the community. You don't belong to any community. You hate all of us. How can you do this? And she, like, you know, she argues back and forth with him. But like that's the state Ender is also, right? Of like loving humanity and understanding, but like can't be a part of it in any way. Otherwise, like he'll be sucked in.
He just. I mean, it's also like, you know, he can never. There are very few people. There's, you know, one person, two people. Yeah. Well, I guess. Yeah. Well, you know,
only one who's alive.
His brother's dead.
Long dead.
Is very long dead. Yeah. But yeah, like that. The only person who knows, who like truly knows him and knows like everything that he's done, and he has to fucking leave her.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's
so tragic.
All of that stuff. Wait, you didn't cover this. There's like an extended section of this that is just about like Valentine's life after Ender leaves, because it'll be 22 years or whatever.
Yeah, he might as well have died. Like he's not around.
Even if he like immediately went back, she'd be like 80 by the time.
Exactly. The cruelty of physics, right? Like
it's devastating.
Like even with like near light speed travel, it's still too slow, right? Like that's. Oh, I love that. I love it so much.
It's devastating and beautiful, and it's just so fucking compelling. That flashback chapter is the best.
That section where it's going through Valentine's life, there's a moment where she's on the Sondheim that they're doing. The trip into the wilderness. She takes her philosophy students on to like welcome to the real world with them, which fucking rocks.
Which is awesome.
It says, cried for Ender only at night when she thought no one could see. That is what Ender and all the battle school do when they're brought up to the battle school for the first time. The first night that they stay up there, that they all cry. And when, you know, nobody.
It's just devastating.
It is so devastating. I love the description that I think it is from Valentine's point of view. Or like in her words, where she's describing, because Ender is a professor at the beginning of when we first get to see him again.
Getting so mad at Calvinists.
He hates Calvinists
so
much. He's
fucking
just so
funny.
mad that they keep trying to fucking convert him to their
those deterministic bitches. Get the fuck out of here.
But when or no, actually, this is that student who ends up figuring out that yeah. Where it's like, well, yeah, the reason that people like Valentine is because she answers questions, but you only answer questions with more questions.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And then there's
the best
great bit where Valentine thinks about, like, because she thinks, okay, one of the big things I'm locking into on this reading is that this is a book about relationships and specifically how they break and come together, right? I'm, like, thinking about that a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, this is the moment where, like, locked into place for me is, and when Valentine is watching Ender walk up to her, she, despite their closeness, they think about how they can understand each other without ever thinking about it, she misunderstands him in a critical way. She thinks, oh, he's coming on the Sondheim and everything. Oh, that's going to be a whole thing, you know. And what made me think is she thinks, like, yeah, he's brilliant, but most students don't recognize it. They get frustrated with him. But the ones who do recognize him are particularly smart, but then he leads them. He'll lead them in a direction. And so then all of the brilliance afterwards is not their own. It's his still. It's still his thoughts that he's living. Which, awesome. Cool.
Yes.
But there's that moment where she, like, just misunderstands what he's coming there for. And then when he finally starts explaining it, she then catches it. But it feels to me like a year ago, when Jack, her husband, wasn't around, and they were all they had, that mistake would not have been made. She would have figured it out immediately, right? Distance is there, finally. That is
a husband shouldn't be jealous of his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
That was... you mentioned, like, obviously I'm... poisoned by knowledge of who Orson Scott Card is as a person.
Yeah.
But the thing you just said, and I don't have knowledge about where this book actually goes, so I'm like skeptical of this thing that I did notice a lot about relationships, but specifically I noticed a lot of conversation about marriage specifically. And I'm unsure. I'm trepidatious about where that's going to end up so far. And some of the stuff that happens is, where did I, like... she would hardly be alive, unable to marry, unable to think about the subject herself. Where it's like, just like, that's when, Naviha, is that her name?
I always say Novinha, but I don't know.
Novinha, yeah.
Yeah.
Is, like, initially, thinking about how, like, you know, she has to hide away all this information, and then she also says if she was not with Lebo, she could not think of who she would be then. Which is like, in the moment I was kind of like just skeptical of that, like imagination of like a person, specifically like a woman who is now unable to marry, because it didn't seem up to this point, it just was not something that, obviously it was kind of obvious that her and Lebo had like a thing.
I mean, it's mentioned that, like, she hasn't slept in her own bed in, like, a year.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they're incredibly close, and, like, there's a connection there, but it just hadn't come up, and then, like, it's like, oh, my life's over because I can't marry. Which I was like, I'm not sure about that. But as it's gone on, I'm less skeptical about that. I'm more just convinced that that's a thing that happened because she is a child, and in a very highly volatile state in that moment. But
I really like again, this is another quote that I pulled out, like, a little bit more. If you don't mind, I'll read it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go for it.
She saw her future ahead of her, bleak and unbearable and unavoidable. She dared not die, and she would hardly be alive, unable to marry, unable to even think about the subject herself, lest she discover the deadly secret and inadvertently let it slip. Alone forever, burdened forever, guilty forever, yearning for death, but forbidden to reach for it. Still, she would have this consolation. No one else would ever die because of her. She would bear no more guilt than she bore now. Because specifically, she will not marry, and she cannot die, because if she does either of those, her files will be available to Lebo or whoever she marries, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not just... I think you got there at the end, Seth. Like, you're like, I don't think it's just marriage, and it's also the thoughts of a child.
Yeah.
And it's also, again, she just, like, it's also death. right? Like she can't.
Yeah, like she can't die, and
She's
she's stuck
live.
alive.
Yeah.
I feel like I
way.
immediately caught that it was this, like, it felt very much like she had found this, like, one of the two connections in her life that ever meant anything to her besides her deceased parents. And, like, in the threat of losing both of them, she's, like, driving herself to this, like, near madness of, I will never have anything, I can't have anything, it will just put people in danger, and in doing that, she's just sabotaging her own life. And the tragedy of it is that it seemingly Lebo still figures it out.
Yeah,
and
so something
dies.
Happens, right? Because he dies the same way his father does, right? So something did happen.
Which is just so fucking
crazy to me.
tragic.
That was like just one of the big it's fucking it just really hit me. Everything about like where her life has gone in the past 20 something years, it's like this is it's hard.
I really don't. I don't enjoy how they're describing the husband. I'm like, something terrible's going on there.
Poor Chow.
Just the worst. He's awful.
And dead.
So
yeah, because I mean, we were talking about this before we started the episode, where it's like Ender's Game. I think a literal child would like. Well, I mean, you know, somebody younger than you were when you first read Spear for the Dead. Like somebody, I think you could get from like 3rd grade on, or like, you know, you could somebody could read Ender's Game and like enjoy it and like get something.
It is very much more in the like young adult model, and I mean like young adult parentheses pre Harry Potter, like it's in that mode of like
it's simple and it's like it's emotionally complicated,
like very interesting.
It's very fun. It's definitely like more engaging in that way. If I was a child, like I don't think I would finish this book.
I don't think about it now. I'm relatively. I would have been like 12 reading Speak.
I don't think I'd know how to fucking deal with it.
That's the time where like you would probably get into, at the very least, like I think, because for now it is basically a murder mystery mixed with a like it's like a sci-fi murder with like an anthropological drama, and that's like it's really interesting. All of that stuff is really interesting, but so much of this is just about like being 40 and sad.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect.
Like,
and it's not like there's nothing in here that I'm like, well, a child like couldn't read.
No, but they'd have to be like a specific type of kid, right? Like,
yeah, it's like I just don't think it'd be interesting to them.
Yeah, I do remember specifically there were parts of this because little boy James raised not atheist but like not religious and never went to church and like did not interact with church people either. So like there's large chunks of this book that deal with like characters talking about religion and like their relationships with each other due to that and like all that stuff that just like was incomprehensible to my mind. I was just like, why does this matter? I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's interesting. It's very interesting.
I was also not raised religious necessarily.
Yeah.
I was raised. I had gone to church. I've told the fucking dinosaur story on the pod before.
Yes.
Yes.
So like, and I had been to church a few times. I had been raised on like Bible stories. I had been raised around like Veggie Tales and shit like that.
Yeah.
The Bible as like a concept, like I knew a lot of it. Actually, it's kind of weird. I'm like more familiar with like with Bible stories like Samson for a long time than I was like Jesus.
Okay.
Really?
Interesting.
Just because I had like a book of Bible like stories, and like a lot of them were that instead of just about Jesus.
I was raised with a fear of God.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
You know.
But yeah, that would have been interesting to me. I actually remember as like in 4th grade, I remember the moment of being like, I don't think I believe in God. I remember that moment like specifically, just like thinking it through and being like making the conscious effort. So I think actually that stuff would have interested me as a child, because I remember telling friends about that, about like that thought process I went through, and being like legitimately ostracized for it.
Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah, like I was
like
friends with
like rural Ohio also. Right?
Yeah, I
like,
was I was in rural, like, and especially like at that point. This is before I moved to like the small town I would eventually. I was like I had farmland, you know, like we didn't run a farm. We had somebody else who wanted to use the land, and we just kind of let them. But like that's who I grew up. I had a friend who was like super fucking religious to the point, and like conservative religious. Because I remember when Obama got elected, he was crying on the bus because his parents told him that Obama was going to like nuke the United States because he was a terrorist.
Oh my
Which
god!
I remember hearing that as a child, being like, "That sounds really stupid."
That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound real.
Like, I don't think that's true.
I got a very different version of that, where my parents were just like, I don't think he seems right for the job. There's just something about him. I'm like, yeah, I guess there is something about him, man. I prefer if
like,
we're honest.
my mom is like my mom has this really interesting like extremist non-denominational shit where it's like God. My mom is like my mom believes that basically all religions are right to some degree, because it's just like some unknowable being that is speaking to various people in various parts of the world to give them the knowledge that they need to exist in that period of time and in that part of the world.
Okay, yeah.
All right, which I just think is a really interesting thing. And my dad is not religious at all. Like is like an atheist. So
yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I would have been interested in that, and then some of this other stuff I probably wouldn't have been interested in it until later. One of my favorite parts of this that we haven't really touched on is the introduction to each chapter being research stuff from people.
It's the best, awesome thing ever.
It's the coolest shit in the world.
There's a thing
I also like one of my
I...
favorite ones is I think it's chapter 3. No, it's maybe it's chapter 4.
I know the chapter 3 one is about how pig biology doesn't make sense.
Which is the best.
No, it was the 4. It was the one in chapter 4, because something about the piggies is that we eventually learn, I think in that first chapter, that we have only ever seen the men.
Yes. Only ever seen men.
And we've never, nobody has seen the women. And also, we have only seen, the incels of the piggy community,
right?
Which is so funny.
It's amazing.
But it's, when they're talking about how the piggies have,
they've adopted human
language. They adopt human language
and,
incredibly quick. In Portuguese. Yeah.
They said they're smarter.
Oddly, though, they refer to themselves as raw men, showing that they either misunderstood the hierarchy or view themselves from the human perspective. In quite an amazing turn, they have several times referred to the females as varels.
That's how I.
And it's what's going on there?
Right? What's going on there?
Varels. Okay, this is also. I realized that we didn't explain what that is.
I have the quote here.
Okay, cool. I had it written down as
This is basically something that Demosthenes Valentine brings into the culture. Basically, she writes an essay about this. It's talking about how the Nordic language has 4 different orders of foreignness, and so she because they're going to Trondheim, and so she okay. There's a whole thing about Valentine. When she goes to a different planet, she writes a history of that planet and publishes it. And that's what she's doing now. And part of this essay apparently was talking about the foreignness hierarchy that is in the Nordic language. I don't know if this is real or not. I have to assume it's real.
I assume it is, but I don't know. I've
only ever heard it in this book. I don't know. But the first is Outlander or Utlanding. the stranger we recognize as a human being of our world. The second is frameling. This is the stranger that we recognize as human, but of another world. The third is ramen, the stranger that we recognize as human, but of another species. The fourth is true alien, the Varels.
Shit's
so
tight.
the idea is humans now recognize buggers as ramen, but during the Bugger Wars, the Formic Wars, they would have recognized them as Varels. They seemed inhuman. It wasn't until Speaker for the Dead comes out, like the in-universe book. No, it's the Hive Queen of the Hegemon. Hive Queen of the Hegemon,
yeah.
that comes out in universe. That humanity like recognizes that the buggers were people and then they were ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. But yeah, so that means that like the piggies view or seeming like in some manner they view the women of their species as alien to them entirely, meaning that there's no communication possible. Like all animals, it's in that quote, all animals are viewed as Varels.
That's something.
So no communication is possible between them. But also, I'm so fascinated by this guy, which I mean, like they're the central mystery of the book.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm just so interested. I'm like, what is going on with these fuckers, dude? What is
the
deal?
Unclear, like you said, that these are like probably like incel weirdo piggies. So it's like unclear whether or not those Varels comments are derogatory or not, right? Like, are they using it in like the purely like true way, or are they using it to dunk on the women?
Yeah, it's very, and it's like nobody knows because there's so much like red tape. I remember when Eve read this, friend of the pod. She was kind of I believe turned off by kind of all of this like information.
Yeah,
because it goes like really deep into this. Like, she compared it to like it feels like a Star Trek episode, which, you know, to me is fine.
Yeah, it feels like a Star Trek episode. Parentheses positive.
For me that's good. But I can definitely, if you're like not interested in that, because Ender's Game is very. Oh, something I noticed, which I actually probably should have talked about this in the pod. In between last main episode and this episode, I went through every Earthsea book.
Oh my, yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That did happen.
I actually, while I was reading this, I thought there's like a weird, a like weird kind of parallel that I feel like you can actually draw between the first two Earthsea books and the first two of these Ender books.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm just gonna say that third Earthsea book is my least favorite. I don't think that book is very good. So maybe there's even more.
And also, it's worth noting, we know Orson is a fan of Le Guin, or was a fan of Le Guin.
Yeah.
Because the Ainsfulls in this are explicitly named after the one
after Le Guin in the Hainish cycle.
Oh, Hainish.
God, fuck that's awesome.
Left Hand is the fourth book in the Hainish cycle. It shows up for the first time in Rokan's world.
Okay.
Yeah, it's her sci-fi universe that isn't necessarily like a series of like a long narrative, but it's just like here's a bunch of stuff that takes place in one universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously that Ender's Game is kind of like it's more compact, but it tells the story of how Ender becomes Ender.
Yes.
Which is also basically how Wizard of Earthsea, the first book in the Earthsea series, is about how the main character Ged ends up becoming the most renowned wizard in all of Earthsea or whatever.
Yeah.
And then specifically Tombs of Adawan, the second book, is about how an older Ged interacts with this I'm trying to remember her name in that book. She has a different name in that book than she does in the rest of the series.
Oh,
Arha. I'm just gonna call her like Arha. who is from a different culture and like is like deeply saddened by she's like taking away from her family and like denamed and like taken away, which is not entirely dissimilar from the relationship. Obviously there's some pretty big differences, but it's just like an interesting thing I noticed, like it's kind of interesting how the second book in both these series are like more interested in kind of like interrogating this a gender thing. And I also don't think I have no idea how this will end up. I don't even know if this will really end up going into that. I don't think that second book in Earthsea ends up going to the best places with it, and that's kind of where the last 3 books are like trying to deal with that, because Ursula K. Le Guin grew as a person in a positive direction, unlike Orson Scott Card.
If only
Orson Scott Card being like the Jungian shadow self of Ursula K. Le Guin.
I guess so, right?
Yeah,
This is me saying I think Orson Scott Card is actually like ontologically evil, and we need to deal with
Orson.
Parody satire. I'm not responsible for anything that may happen.
Can I let's I want to talk about some comedic moments that are all in like chapter 2, like after another.
Yeah, let's go.
So again, he hates all these goddamn Calvinists he has to deal with. And
Amazing.
He's talking about one of his students. He's like, this guy's really smart, but he's a goddamn Calvinist. Andrew knew
it won't last past his education.
Would not outlast his undergraduate education. Though its decision would be long and painful. Which is like, that's how make me think of people talking about like libertarianism. Like,
yeah, it's in there, man.
Really? Yeah, I get it. There's also when Plick comes up to Enders, I've been trying to figure out who you are, like what your deal is, where you come from, and it's all classified. There's no fucking information on you, like what's going on. She says God himself couldn't look up your life story.
Which is the best.
It's so funny. And then like he's like, "What am I to you? What does it matter?" And she's like, "I want to speak for you." And she goes, "I'm not dead yet. Like, stop." It's good. And then of course, that chapter ends out with he didn't want them to know him. He did not belong to them, the human race. Good.
Him being offended that she wanted this information from him or just anything from him, how mad he got has stuck out to me so much. This indignation to the rest of humanity. Like, to demand anything of him after he gave up everything for them. It's the best.
Good. It reminds me of, there's that clip that Jane fabricates. She like deep fakes a clip of him returning to Earth and being congratulated, right? And he's like, that didn't happen, right? And you get the idea, even if that did happen, I don't know if he would have been happy about it. Like, even if
that's what he's saying. He's like, this shit sucks.
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't seem like that would have been good for him.
I think he said something along the lines of he hated when they like treated him as a god as well.
Yeah, exactly. It was almost as bad because now he's treated as like the devil, like as an epitaph, something someone to be cursed at. Because that's the thing is like all the arguments that his goddamn Calvinist students have are about whether or not the Xenocide was justified.
Ender like truly is just like just put himself in hell. It's just like it's like the worst shit of all time. That's awful.
Shit's amazing.
So good.
Because he's let's do you guys have any more thoughts about that or
that specifically? If you got more other things you want to talk about, I got other things I want to talk about.
I just want to like do we have any thoughts about specifically the Hive Queen? That deal in this so far.
I really like the way her talking to Ender's described is like there's a lot of like nature imagery and like she'll speak in words, but sometimes it's just like a feeling she sends to him. And then we get near the end the discussion of like there's a mind on this planet and it is so much more easy to talk to than you are because you like think in individualistic terms and I can't do that. That's not what we did and that's not what I do. I have to speak with the person instead of you. It's just too much. It's too simple compared.
Yeah, which
Humans
that
are
actually,
cold.
so that makes me think that probably what's going on is that there is some sort like the female piggies are probably or potentially some sort of hive mind. Something's going on.
Yeah.
Something weird is happening, and it kind of frightened me when you started talking.
Yeah, right. Like, what do you mean? There's another mind? Because the Lusitanians, they don't know that. Like
no,
isn't out here being like, yeah, there's like some sort of higher intelligence out there that we talk about sometimes. Like, we don't know what that is, right? Could be the fucking grass. Like, who knows?
I'm so fascinated to see how that ends up, how all of that, like, so much of it's hard for me to talk about this part of the book. I mean, we've been doing it, so obviously it's not that hard. But like, there's so much in here that I'm like, I just want to know what fucking happens next. I just want to get
difficult to read only the first 6 chapters. As somebody who's reread this book a ton and like usually will just tear through it really quick, it was difficult to stop myself. Wren, do you have any thoughts specifically about the Hive Queen? I kind of rolled over.
A little bit. Happens. Fucking the Hive Queen as a character was one I didn't expect to come up so frequently and so majorly. I think the B plot to the novel being seeing if this planet is suitable for the Hive Queen is super compelling, and I'm especially interested in this thing she mentioned where there's another mind on the planet.
Yeah, and
that's the best.
Specifically, that is the best shit in the world. She specifically is like, once they get there, she's like, no, this is it.
Yeah, she knows immediately. There's no doubt in her. So she's like, this is it. It's almost got an air of like, I know this is the right answer, and you're gonna fucking take your time to figure it out, but like, you'll get there, buddy. Like,
insane detail.
It's gotta be the females.
Real quick. It's got to be the females. It has to be them. I don't know what else it could be. Which, maybe, who knows. It's a book. Anything can happen. It's fiction. But with the insane detail to be thrown in here that the Hive Queen feels all of the time.
Yes.
That is like she
doesn't.
When Ender feels it in 8 days, but for her it is like every single moment. So she's felt like that entire 3,000 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just sitting there waiting, just waiting.
Which I don't understand how that works, but like, fuck, is that neat to chew on?
One bit of like friction that I remember as a kid like sat weird with me because I was a child with a child's understanding of the world. Is that the Hive Queen is not like a perfect creature. We haven't seen a ton of her so far, but like there's this friction of like Ender, like it's kind of like God like, with the Hive Queen, like the Hive Queen's demanding, right? Like she wants, like you have to do this, right? She's ramen, but she's not. The piggies are much more ramen than the Hive Queen is in this moment, right? Like she's still very alien. I think that's
the Hive Queen is so alien.
Like, culturally, we've all accepted that the Hive Queen is ramen, but like, maybe when confronted with them again, when the people have to see the buggers and have to deal with them again, maybe they'll decide that they're far else. Like, what if they ain't ramen after?
I love that aspect of it, and also like how doors.
Oh,
okay. I thought I was so fucking confused.
I thought you were like deep diving your psyche.
I was like how Ender is thinking about that, and also it's like, well, like I need to find a planet where the other life on it, like he's worried about the piggies specifically becoming afraid and trying to kill them, or just like not knowing what to do. Like I didn't write it down, but he does mention it's like they are far less able to deal with you than we were, and they like seemingly just like don't have, like they will try to hurt you,
Yeah.
They're also like a warring society. Like we get the mention.
Yeah, dude.
With epigraphs of like, that war is like a common thing, and they also have like a weird conception of war. It seems almost because like the hero of war stories always dies, and that's not seen as a problem. Is something they talk about in the epigraph. Like we don't know what to do with that, like culturally.
Death means something different.
It doesn't have to be on their side.
Yeah, it can be anything, right? So
it's like it is like a game to them. Which is interesting. They're so interesting.
Speaking ramen.
Did you have something to say, Wren? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It happens. Fucking. What was I gonna say? I forgot. I blamed the both of you. It's okay.
I want to talk. Again, I said I'm deeply poisoned. But I want to talk about something Jane says that I've always loved. It's not even what she says. It's like what Ender is thinking about her in chapter 4 when like he's like thinking about like how she came to him and everything. Even before she was born, human beings had imagined her, and in imagining her, slain her 1,000 times. It's like Jane is instantly aware as soon as she becomes like conscious of the world that like her existing is considered a problem by humanity. Like the evil AI is a trope in this world, and her just like even if she's benevolent, kind, or whatever, does not matter. She will be Varelse to humanity. And part of what she wants out of Ender is Ender needs to write a book for her, a book for the piggies, and a book for her, so humanity can come to love her and accept her, like they have the buggers. But it is much easier, as Ender keeps kind of thinking to himself, it's much easier to love somebody when they are dead, and you don't have to worry about them anymore. That's why humanity love the buggers, think the Xenocyber is bad, because they don't have to deal with the consequences of the buggers existing anymore. Like they have 3,000 years of hindsight at this point. It's good. It's good. I'm trying to look at my notes of other things. Oh yeah, Ender is just like incredibly rich. He has 3,000 years of interest built up on top of like the money he already had from like war times and everything. He just spends $40 billion buying a starship so he can just get out as fast as possible, which is awesome.
Jane's like, no, drop in the water. No, drop in the pool.
Yeah, like literally, it's nothing. Jane's like, don't even worry about it. She's also been like managing his assets. So like, she's been like buying property. She says she could buy she could build a planet with the amount of money he has. Like,
yeah, it's absurd.
Like that's how much he has. And he's like, it's fine, I don't care. All he owns is fits in a duffel bag and on his back as well. Like he just like he has a duffel bag. He has his clothes. That's all he's ever needed. He's been traveling for his time at least 10 to 15 years. Cool.
It's interesting.
Going through. So we should talk about how Mark Chow dies. Because it is interesting because they don't know exactly how this happened.
Yeah.
His like internal tissues became fatty matter. Like by the time he died, his liver was only 2 inches long. I think is what they say.
His spleen was gone.
Yeah, his spleen was gone. Like he was just like inside out rotted. Like this bizarre thing happened to him, and nobody's really certain what it was.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
And well, I bring it up because there's this quote that Ella thinks while they're in church. She's thinking about the family, how fucked up everybody is. We exist where normal human children are expected to be. We're even shaped the same, but each of us has been replaced by an imitation child, shaped out of twisted, fetid, lepidus goiter that grew out of father's soul. Good.
Oh,
he's bad. He's a bad guy. He's just awful.
All of his kids are all fucked up in different weird ways. Like,
yeah,
and it's good. I'm so excited to get more of them.
Yes, yeah,
right. I'm just so worried as to what the fuck he did.
Yeah, because Ella like goes on to like this like diatribe thinking about Grego, their terrible little boy. Who is
evil
crying,
little boy
who's prying rivets out of the benches with a screwdriver, which is insane.
He's the best.
He's such a little shitter. And
He's so funny.
She thinks about, like, if Dad was still alive, he would, like, in public, he'd be graceful. He would, like, take the screwdriver. Grego would calm down and be everything. And then he would come home and he would scream at Milo, one of their brothers, the oldest brother. They just screamed. Nero, not Milo. Nero, and just, like, let into him for hours. That was, like, how they dealt. That was their life, right? It's like, this is what happened to everyone. It's good. I mean, it's not good that happened, but it's good as.
But it's compelling. It's compelling fiction. I love the little moment when Ender goes up to, I can't remember which one it is. Which
Olhado.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, can you take me to this family house? And then he was like, yeah, sure. And he has to, like, pay him or something. Is that true? Is that
it's not. He plays like a word game with him, basically. If I remember correctly, like he's being a stinker about it because Olhado's a little smart ass.
Yeah. And then, you know, he's like, okay, but what's your last name? And he's like, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you say that last name. Riberia. Yeah. And it's like, you fucker.
I got me.
You cheeky kid.
You bastard.
When Ender's watching, because Ender catches... Ender is watching a little boy and a little girl kick a soccer ball at the other one as hard as they can. And if they dodge or flinch, they, like, lose. And so,
it's the best game I've ever heard of.
It's like top tier, just fucking dumbass kid game.
He moved his crotch away!
It's so... And Olhado is watching it, and the reason he's watching is because he's got robot eyes, right? Like, he's got cybernetic implant eyes from a laser accident, it's mentioned.
So he's a perfect judge.
It's called Olhado. I believe it's the Portuguese word for, like...
Yeah, it's like a...
Or C.
It's like a cruel nickname.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks.
On the planet give him.
But it's specifically, like, you know... I don't know if you can tell by reading these books, Orson Scott Card likes computers a lot. Thinks a lot about them. And so he's like, yeah,
Your kid was neat.
The way these eyes work is that one eye has all the sensors and stuff. The other eye is just a power and storage source. Like, it doesn't actually do anything. It's mostly cosmetic. And there's
the best.
I just love, first of all, I love that. And then there's a bit where he's like, yeah, he can probably record video and then, like, offload it if he wants. But it's probably less than 1 trillion bits. I looked up how many 1 trillion bits would be. Y'all want to take a guess?
No, I can't even fathom.
It's more than I expected, is what I'll say.
I have no idea. I can't.
Yeah, you just wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, a trillion is a bit hard to conceptualize.
Yeah, let alone then dividing it up further into, like, bits, bytes, you know, so on and forth. That's 125 gigs. You know what?
Oh!
Decent. You know, you don't need more than that, really.
Fair enough.
Right, I'm like, hey, it makes sense. It's good. He asks, you know, about, like, getting information at the Riberia house. Olhado says nobody at the Riberia house knows any true stories, which is good.
So strong.
So, what were you going to say something, Seth?
Yeah, just some clarification. Her husband is not the kid that she helped out.
That is,
at the
it's the same kid,
right?
Same person.
Okay, it is the same. I didn't really think about that, and I was like, is that the same? We
should talk about that. We should talk about the Marchow a little further.
Yeah. So I couldn't remember if that was his name.
So we're introduced.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That connects that dot. I was like, okay, he's not going. Is he going to come back later, or is this him?
Yeah. So when we are introduced to Novinha, it's through a nun at the school telling Peepo about how she wants to take a test and, like, all this stuff. And, like, she's really lonely. She doesn't have anybody. And Lebo, who went to school with her up until recently, is like, no, she has a guy. And they're like, who? And it's Marchow. And it's like, well, they're not really friends. And what it turns out is that Marchow is, like, the big, like physically large. Like several inches taller than everybody else, and, like, big and strong and everything. And they call him, well, Mark.
You probably knew somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a type of kid that is common enough to be in, like, any school in America.
They call his name is not actually.
That may have
Chow.
been me a little bit.
Nickname based off Chow for dog, because they were calling him Chow a lot, and, like, eventually Marchow is what we call him. Everyone in this book has fucking nicknames. But basically, a bunch of kids were bullying Marchow. He struck back and like hurt one of them because he's a big guy. And like Noviak basically came to the school teachers and was like, no, he was being provoked. He didn't do anything wrong. And then years go by when Pipo dies, and everyone's like mourning in the Zenador office. She notices that Marchow is like staring at her, like very like
intently.
Looking. Yeah, intently. And at first she's like scared, and then she's like, "No, I'm being judgmental, just like those boys were." Like, he's not an animal, right? Like he's just remembering this thing that she had forgotten. It was not important to her, but was obviously very important to Marchow. And then jump ahead 22 years, they're married again after Novia vowed to never marry, which is interesting.
It is,
but they are married, and he seems to have been like a monster in the house, like just a horrifically abusive person in his family.
Yeah,
we don't know the extent of that, but
I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah,
because like I don't know, connecting all those dots, I'm like this. It feels a bit cruel on Orson Scott Card's part,
right? Punishing of this woman or whatever, right? Like,
well, also like specifically because they talk about how, just in the sense that like they specifically mention, I think that like Marchow as a child is like not very smart.
Yeah.
And is this like big kid that is like provoked, and then to kind of like have him age into this horrible monster as well.
Yeah, like it was literally monstrous. Like by the time he dies, parts of him
like
are
not human. Yeah. By the time he dies, he's like not human anymore.
I think there's something there.
There could be something going on there.
100%.
Yeah, someone who's treated as monstrous becoming monstrous to the people around him.
And we also have not. We've only seen him from the perspective of one kid, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's lying, but I'm saying we only know what Ella has thought about, and even then, we just don't know enough yet. Where this is all set up, a lot of setup.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I'm just like I'm putting a pin in it, and I'm interested to see where that develops, which is kind of how I feel about basically everything I've said here.
Yes, a lot of this is just
that's fair.
Set up. And speaking of that, Wren, I want to ask you.
Go for it.
Specifically, because this is the most Wren core part of the book, and we haven't seen a ton of it. But I tell you this, it'll keep coming up. The ecology of this planet and how sparse it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that hitting you?
I really
Mr. gets mad at Far Cry Primal for having too many predators.
Hey now,
large predator.
That's a reasonable. Well, it's a whole mix of things. Doesn't matter in this moment. It's complicated for me in this moment as I consider and think about the book itself and what it's trying to say and what it's trying to do and its thoughts on life and sentient life.
It's also the point, right? Like everyone is like, this is weird. Like this ain't right. Something's wrong.
Yeah, like exactly.
The whole epigraph is about how the piggies only eat this one worm, and they've analyzed it, and it's not enough. Like they should. They don't.
Yeah,
they might
they're
not
on
even
that
have
koala
calcium
diet.
bones like we do because they don't have enough of the nutrients that they're supposed to have, which rocks.
Like yeah, something's wrong and something's weird, and I feel like I immediately grasped what Pipo got.
Yes,
at that moment.
This. Can you explain this? Talk about what your theory is for what Pipo figured.
Pipo was like, it's all the same. And my thought immediately went to one of two things. More so now kind of three things. The piggies reproduce through parthenogenesis, which is this type of like horizontal gene cloning, or vertical gene cloning. It doesn't matter. Making clones of themselves, maybe through these trees and the planting and whatever the females are and whatever mass intelligence that is. That feels too easy, and it feels like this is a planet where the ecosystem was created with some kind of perfect divine will that made everything just as functional as it needed to be as some sort of larger experiment, it doesn't make sense that all of the organisms would have the same genetic code. Like, I mean, all life on Earth has the fucking... Well, all non-virus life has the same genetic code of, like, adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, and shit, of things recombining. But what he's saying is, like, the cells are the same. Everything is the same. This is all the same. That's fucked up. That doesn't exist in nature, except in cloning and in some theoretical setting where something has made a perfect world for it to function and tinker with. And that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, is that whatever this intelligence that the Bugger Queen has seen, yeah, that is something much more profound than is being led on in the moment. That's what I'm thinking. Or all life is just derived from one thing and it's cloning itself and meshing to fit in the environment, and it's all actually one type of life form. I don't know. I haven't read the book yet. I haven't finished it, I mean. But I have a lot of theories. I'm thinking extensively about this. I'm rotating it in my mind.
Oh, no, I was going to not change the subject, but mention a detail that I like. Just reminded me. I like the fact that they don't plant trees on the humans that die. I think that's
something.
Like, even something vital, like, connected to this, like, which, you know, would make sense with the theory that you have, Wren. And also, I just like, even if it's not connected to that, I just like it as, like, a piece of ritual. I think that's, like, really interesting.
It's like, is that... I think that one of the things to theorize is, like, is that a form of disrespect? Like, what is why don't they do that, right? And
I think it's something vital to the lore. I think it's something vital. I'm so stuck on that.
Like, it is something that they linger on a little bit.
But it seems like they're treating it as this form of disrespect, and that feels like the wrong read completely.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that it is disrespect. I don't know.
We just don't know.
The way they speak about death, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because they have this, like, huge reverence for the dead, right? Like, again, all of their war stories are about guys who die, right? Like,
and specifically, all the heroes die.
Yeah.
Death is, like, the Buggers had this very specific misinterpretation of human death and what killing was. It wasn't the exchanging of, like, fingers and cells. It was the death of a whole creature.
Like, there's an image here that has always been brought up in my brain ever since. It's like, what the Buggers thought was, like, when they killed, like, a small station, because that's all it was, an asteroid station. Like, to them, that was like clipping a nail. To say, like, hey, we're here, hi, how are you doing? And to humans, you know, we're all individuals, that's, like, the worst thing you could have done, right?
Which they didn't get fundamentally.
Yeah. There's, like, a fundamental, and that's we haven't said it. There is there is a concern. Star Wars Congress, like the UN, like the governing body of interstellar society, has set down restrictions. So we can't give the Buggers anything, and we also can't hurt them. There are all these rules. Yeah. The only people who can talk to the Buggers are the xenobiologists, the Xenodors, not the xenobiologists, the xenologers. As xenologists, or the Xenodors, it's easy to say. The only people who can talk to them is the Xenodors, and it's only, like, at a limited amount of time. Like, after Peepo dies, you can only talk every other day for, like, an hour or something like that. Like, these very, very tight rules, which is, you know, ostensibly for a good cause. We don't want another xenocide, but also, as Peepo and Lebo and everyone basically involved says in their notes and everything, it is intensely frustrating. Because they just can't ask questions, and they also just, like, they just can't do anything, right? Like, they just fundamentally can't figure things out. They can't ask.
Yeah. It's the prime directive from Star Trek, but, like, taken to an extreme, where it's like, we can't collect samples from these, from the piggies, because if we do, they might ask the question, why are you taking this? And then we might have to explain that, like, analyzing genetic material is a concept that exists, and that might be introducing that to them too early.
There's also,
you know,
we haven't
understandable, but also, oh my god, that's so frustrating.
We haven't even talked about it. Rooter. We haven't talked about Rooter.
Rooter.
Who was like Lebo's like best piggy friend. He was like this really smart piggy. He was like always talking to Lebo and Peepo, hanging out. And one
best
day,
friend in general, seemingly.
Yes, yeah, because Lebo's like this really isolated kid. Like basically grew up hearing stories of Rooter, and then like got to spend a bunch of time with him. But the first death we see caused by the piggies is Rooter, and he figures out that Lebo is Peepo's son, and then also that women are intelligent, seemingly, like are basically the same as men, basically. And this is like he freaks the fuck out, right? He's like, I knew it. You are. I can't remember what the term is for the cattle on this planet. Like you're these things. You're just like them, and like they don't know what that means, and all the other piggies like freak out and like pick him up and like carry him away, basically. Like it's like this huge thing, and then they leave, and then they find Rooter's body dead, all of his organs like pulled out with a plant growing out of it, like place thing. That's the first death we see. And it's like, what happened? Right? Like they freak the fuck out.
What's going on?
They reach out to the Star Wars Congress and they're like, we think we may have killed this piggy by accident, but also like, how could we have not told them about women? Like there's no way we could like not explain.
It was fucked from the start.
So like, I think they're like told to like hold back for a little bit, but they also
because it's like I think that's when it's like, okay, you can only see them like every other day.
Yeah, I think that's what that
or like you have to wait like 2 weeks, and then it's like, okay, and then every other day, and then after Peepo dies, it's like every week or every 2 weeks, and then after Lebo dies, like you are only allowed to see them like every month or so.
Yeah,
for like an hour, like
and we're sending another team to help manage.
You don't know anything about this, but like from the little snippets we get in chapter 6 of Myro and like some other stuff, I was like, seems that they've kind of stopped following the rules to some degree. Like there's a mention Nero makes of like playing God with Lebo with these piggies, like something's happening there. Like we don't know yet. We just haven't spent any time with
something crazy has happened in the 22 years.
If you can believe it,
that we have not gotten to see yet.
Yeah.
All right.
One more thing I got to say, unless you guys got more. It's a small detail. It's like 2 details. One, we don't know how light speed travel works exactly, and we also don't know how the Ansible works exactly. Like they they can build Ansibles and they can communicate using them, but they don't really understand the underlying like physics of it, and they don't understand.
I love that
light speed travel either, right? Like they can do it, but like you can't observe it. So there's like a theory that you're not actually increasing velocity. The universe is increasing velocity around you. Like there's all this stuff. Like we just don't know. And also the thing I love is when you need to pull out of light speed, you go the park shift maneuver, which like slows you down basically, and so you can like land where you're supposed to land. And it's energy free. It doesn't cost anything, which doesn't make sense. It should cost something. And Ender worries that like, are we killing something that we can't see? Are we blipping out stars, light years away from us that we just can't see yet? And then one day we're just gonna lose all of our stars? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like what's the implications of this? Because we just simply don't know.
Yeah, we just can't know. And then Jane pops in like, I can tell you're being morose because like your heart speed is falling. Like your heartbeat speed is like lowering. Your breathing is slowing down.
I love that she's like, actually, there's no substantiated proof of this, so you're being dramatic.
Yeah, like calm down, like, whatever. Who cares? What? Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's best not to think about it.
Yeah, just don't worry about it, bud. I think that's
True.
The last bit of this reading I'd like to talk about, unless you guys have more, which I'll be happy.
Do I got anything?
I do not.
When we're talking about my favorite book of all time, I have a lot of things to talk about.
That doesn't make sense.
There's a lot to unpack here, and I'm excited to get more of it. I'm very excited to see where this all goes.
Me too.
One more quote. Actually, I'm looking at my notes that I've always really liked. Nothing to really say about it. I just like it. when talking about the Lusitanian colonists when they're sent over, it talks about how the planet was Brazilian and all this stuff. It's Portuguese by language, Brazilian by culture, and Catholic by crime. I just like that, and that's a good sentence.
Yeah,
that's a good quote.
Really, it bums me out.
Yep.
What bums you out?
Was all of it.
Space missionary stuff, and vaguely knowing where things might go.
Yeah.
In some of those later books, and where Orson Scott Card ends up as a human being.
The Planet of Hats stuff in the that's like the TV trope star for as Planet of Hats, like one planet defined by a monoculture. I think works a lot better here because it's not super important. Like you get one colony on this planet, right?
Yeah,
that we
it's more like a weird small town than it is like a
and
planet.
Like Trondheim, like they don't say it, but like if you pay attention, like that's also a pretty small place of living. Like they're only at the equator on that planet. Like it makes sense. It doesn't feel super weird. It gets really weird in Xenocide when there's a planet of rice fields. That feels bad.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that.
That's no good.
The imagination is not quite there. Although, again,
you can't really.
Another detail
what a
that
genius
makes it, I think, go down smoother here is I don't remember who thinks about it exactly, but like the Ansible is the reason that culture can stay strong like it is. Like they don't. Language hasn't drifted a ton because we can still talk to each other across light years because the Ansible is instant communication. Without it, like we would just like be a fractured world basically, which is interesting. Another detail. I know I keep saying this. When Beepo dies, there's a mention that the Star Wars Congress sends more entertainment because it's like fuck, they're gonna be so upset. We have to send them more TV so they can like be chill and hang.
Send them magic cards.
Send them like the Pong. Who cares? Who they need anything to distract them from this. The terrible thing that's happening.
No way, Tetris! I love Tetris! I'm so sad about my Xenologer, though.
That's me on Lusitania when I get Tetris the Grandmaster 3 on my Ansible, so I'm like happy again. It's good. That's it.
It is good.
That's no more thoughts from you two. That's it. That's gonna be this episode.
Do I have... I mean...
Go for it. Please. I want to talk.
Yeah, sorry, I just keep getting distracted because I am so hungry. But that's fine. We have the podcast. We got to make content.
Yeah.
I did want to specifically mention, I usually read at work before the episodes because my Saturday shift, may it rest in peace, I don't have to work weekends anymore. Can I get a high five from the audience?
Woo.
Yay! But motherfucking... I feel like I haven't read a book that... Like, I haven't been that engaged with a piece of media. Like, a novel, since I really started Malazan, probably since I started Malazan, I feel. I haven't been so engrossed in a book I'm holding with my hands and reading page to page. Because for whatever reason, it's just the way that Orson Scott Card frames his human characters and the way that he weaves empathy is speaking so directly to me, and I find it maddening how compelled I am by I'm hanging on his fucking word every goddamn chapter.
When Ender is thinking, I've mentioned a few times, when Ender's thinking about how humans think about the Xenocide now, I just kind of thought about everything that's the real genocide that is happening right now. I was just thinking about it. I was thinking about the fucking a liberal is somebody who's against every war except the one that's happening right now. I was just thinking about that a lot. I was really it hit different this time. Let me tell you.
Oh fucking! I bet the way you frame the novel as this meditation on relationships in their build-up, decay, and restructuring struck me because I've been viewing it similarly, but in a different context where I'm really looking at time and the passage of time.
Yes.
And how Ender Ender, and to an extent, Valentine exists as these beings outside of time and society, and in that take on this unique perspective and really compelling jadedness to people in the world. And it feels so sincere in its like hatred and in its love.
It's frustration,
like, because,
right? Like, it's a frustrated way of being, yeah.
And I'm gonna circle this back to a conversation I was having earlier today and yesterday with you, and then with the book club. There's a very popular anime and manga called Frieren that
I knew
really,
you were gonna bring that up. I as soon as you said
you could feel it.
Anime, I was like, it's gonna be Frieren, isn't it?
Yeah. I have had a lot of issues with it that I feel have been like crystallized through reading like Speaker of the Dead specifically, in the way that it's framing both Ender and Valentine. Like the thesis of the bit that I read of Frieren, and then seemingly what goes on later, that seems so much less interesting than the start, which was, oh fuck, the passage of time affects people differently, and oh, you miss out on these things when you perceive time differently, feels like so much more thoughtful and emotionally affecting in the way that Orson Scott Card has been portraying it, as this like deeply empty and painful experience through this alien cognition that is Ender Wiggin. Mm-hmm. And in contrast to Frieren, where it's just like, oh wait, no shot, he had a crush on me though? Oh shit, bro, no! I just...
They're operating in very different tonal spaces, I think is...
Yeah. There's a very different thing going on.
I will say,
which brings me to my frustration with...
There's a moment in Speaker of the Dead that I think is so fucking funny that does play on this, but carry on, sorry.
This brings me to like the larger point where the way people talk about media, and I feel like the way that anime discourse has been treading, where like... What?
The anime discourse.
Oh, rotted from the core forever.
Like, just a wasteland
but even
of intelligence or intellectual thought.
It's like, the past 5 years, it has gotten even more popular, and the discourse around it has gotten even more exhausting. And I talk to people about Frieren, and it's like elevated as this piece of fucking Titanic Shakespearean media about the passage of time and the horrors that come with loss and disconnection. And I fucking pick it up, and I'm just like, oh no, Fern's gonna be late to school. She's not gonna make it to Wizard Academy. And I feel so frustrated. I feel so angry because I want to engage with media on their terms, and I get so frustrated when it's presented to me not in its terms, but in a way that people want to make it more magnanimous and impactful than it really is, you know?
Version that's in their head, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm fine with the fucking media. I love Jujutsu Kaisen. There are parts of it that do feel genuinely impactful, but it's fight shit punch fucko. I'm not gonna lie about that. There's nothing to be gained by lying about the media you're interacting with. And that fucking argument and frustration fully came to a head in that section, like on the fucking Tron Time chapters, where it really is this fucking lofty thesis that's being explored by Orson Scott Card, that the passage of time is cruel and it will leave people behind. And if you're a person like Ender Wiggin who exists outside of time, you will lose everyone around you, and it will never stop hurting. Mm-hmm. And that's beautiful. And I think I'm partially mad because I was led on to believe that that's what happened in Frieren, and got none of that. But I got it. This book is fantastic. It's doing that. It's showing me that this is terrible, and then explaining it with prose and characterization. So that turned into a rant about, I hate anime discourse. It's evil. I'm sorry, audience.
I agree with this.
That is true. That's real.
Thank you, Seth.
There's a reason.
I don't know, man.
the only things I watch, and most of what Seth seems to watch, is from like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not fully like new thing. You know,
No,
one of my favorite anime of all time is SSSS Dynazenon, which came out like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
One of mine is Godzilla Singular Point.
Mine
is doing what it says on the tin.
Sidonia, the most like new thing bad at its own time of existence, right? Like this fucking CG monster, and I'm like, oh, it's good.
Oh, dude, fucking came out a decade ago by Polygon, the Ajin anime. I fucking love that shit.
Right? Yeah.
That shit's tight.
Stuff I like.
Ajin's really good.
Yeah, I will never go on the horse of everything new is bad. I think that's not true. One of my favorite books ever is Chain Gang All-Stars, which came out maybe 3 years ago. New art is always growing and evolving. My issue currently is that the discourse surrounding a lot of media has become homogenized and exemplified in ways that it shouldn't be, and I find that maddening.
Exhausting. No good.
Everyone should read Speaker of the Dead.
Everyone should. Do again?
Speaker for the Dead.
Buy it
What?
used. Buy it used. Don't give Orson your money.
Yeah, buy it used or
For the love
steal
of
it.
God. Do like I did and buy it from the local used bookstore and check out in front of a twink, and you feel terrible because this man's work directly defies his existence. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you beautiful twink. I'm sorry I've done this to you.
You got down on your knees. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
He was a beautiful twink. I don't know. I felt bad.
It's enough. No,
Anyway.
Alright, that's it. Do we have any?
That's
we
it.
don't have any emails. I'm guessing.
Got it. No, maybe. No, we don't.
Send us an email.
Send us an email. All right.
Please.
Bogfrogpod@gmail.com. You can reach out to us at Blue Sky accounts that are not the Bogfrog ones that don't have access. You can follow us.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to like make a new thing, and we've talked.
Let's
about
just
what
reach
that's about.
out, man.
Yeah, we got things.
Yeah, or
We got things.
do whatever.
You follow
I
want-
us at
we should have that
Covered in
fucking
Worms
account.
on Blue Sky. You can follow me at check out our other show, Covered in Worms, our Worm Review podcast. New episode coming out soon on that. Good one.
Yay.
Follow me at bladen@guy.com, PLAIDN. Follow Seth at Little Seth Amphetamine on guy.com. I think that's all I have to share. Wren.
Well, where can you find Wren?
Yeah, Wren.
You can find me joining the train spotting guy and huffing gasoline in my garage.
And have a lovely time, folks. We're
Oh, and
reading,
obviously next reading.
we're
Yeah.
reading chapters 7 through 12. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye!